Hello everyone! We are back again with more Ace Attorney than you'll ever see ever. We're with the great Ace Attorney. We're in the ending part of the fourth case. And we're gonna finish it today, hopefully. But yeah, hope everyone is well. Let's get cracking on this testimony here. We're trying to figure out who knifed the lady in the back, and I think we all have a pretty good idea of who it is. So let us continue.
Hold it!
How can you say that for certain?
A very good question, sir. And the answer is this: is that it has the noble founding of principles of the force written on it, as a reminder of our policemen on our sworn duty.
Eminem. A young lady calling me a little man. I don't know how to take that one, guys. How you doing though, Eminem? You're first. What's up? Good to see ya. You're just in time for the start. You're in the before the 2-minute mark part of the stream thing. But what's up? How you doing? He showed us that before, didn't he? Did he? I can't say I remember.
To patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man. It's what the job's all about.
Hey, Hedgewolf, you're here too. How are ya? How was the one game, the Hollow Knights? And hello, it's Never Mind, yeah. It's Never Mind, yeah. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. I feel like I've seen that name before, just in the Nevermind part. Maybe not, maybe I'm going crazy, but hello! And Yuki-An's here. It's your birthday. Want me to sing a happy birthday today? This stream, we don't need to play this game. I'm joking, you're Nevermind, Belle. I knew it, I flippin' knew you were. I had a feeling. Yes, please? Alrighty, guys. Quick break from visual noveling to sing Yuki-An happy birthday. Hey there, it's your birthday, get happy. Happy when you're bored, happy when you're young, happy when you're old and gray. Congratulations, here's to you. Happy birthday from all of us to Yuki-An. There you go. I hope you like that. Whatever your new age is, I hope it's a good one. You had fun, Hedgewolf? That's good. I wish you luck with that game. Alright, we gotta read this now, guys.
To patrol the streets is what the job's all about. And that is why I can stand here today beside my long-suffering wife and tell you the Bobby's good for his word, while rubbing my tired eyes admittingly, Sah!
Yeah, happy birthday. Birthdays are great. Hope you got some good stuffs. That was wonderful. You're welcome. I'm glad you liked it.
Oh, Rolly, you're so manly.
And for an extra birthday present, Yuki-An, you get to watch this case, the conclusion of this case.
Of course I am, my darling Patricia. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly.
No, none of this is what I want. I mean, how can you say for certain that this case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garideb?
Oh, I see, sir. You should have said so earlier, sir.
Yes, well, so could you answer the question? That was a waste of time, then.
Absolutely, sir. I will answer to the fullest of my ability, sir. There's a surprising reason why Mr. and Mrs. Garideb's domestic dispute can't be related to the case. But before I get into that, sir, just one thing.
Yes?
I'd very much like you and all your countrymen to understand the Great British Institution of Scotland Yard. So hope you'll take back some tales of us London bobbies and how we uphold our guarding principles.
I wasn't planning on going back just yet. I've only just arrived here.
Now to that end, sir, I'll be happy to lend you my warrant card for your perusal. But I must warn you, won't be able to get it through without shedding a few tears. Get through it, rather.
Hey, Captain Chips, how you doing? Why is he chewing on his helmet strap? He's been doing that this whole time. Sometimes you just gotta chew on things. Don't flirt on the court. Too late. There's flirting. Huge flirtings. I'll try.
You see, sir, the windows on the top floor of the Garrett house are top hinges, castanets.
Right, that was a thing. A policeman will strive to preserve the peace within his allotted beat. A patrolling officer is expected to walk 20 miles around his beat every day to the furtherance of community relations. Any crimes fall under the jurisdiction of the beat in which they are discovered. When a crime discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with initial investigations and help detectives.
Got it, guys? Got it?
Tisk, tisk, flirt, tisk, tisk. That's what I say.
Hold it!
Lurk, alrighty. Lurk away, Minim. I'll talk to you soon. By which you mean they don't open fully, is that correct?
Yes, sir. They're just there to allow a bit of air through the house, you see? So they're restricted as to how much they open.
And therefore, anything thrown out of the window from inside the room would simply strike the pane and fall to the street directly below. For clarity, allow me to mark the map. Here is the location where objects would have fallen. Yes. Directly opposite the scene of the crime, on the other side of the rather wide road. Would it have been so hard for somebody to mention this top hinge casement thing before? Nope. Well, I have another question for you, Constable.
And what would that be, sir?
How do you even know? Why would you have any idea what sort of windows Mr. and Mrs. Garredeb's house is furnished with?
Ah, well, sir, that's very simple. You see, I helped with the investigation yesterday.
What?
Excuse me!
Do you have something to add, Mrs. Beat?
Sorry?
You look, well, delighted. Is there some particular reason for that?
Oh, I was just remembering. That's all. We really were so lucky.
Lucky? What do you mean?
Well, of course I feel terrible for the poor woman who was attacked. Don't misunderstand me, please. But we were just so lucky that it didn't happen on Rolly's beat. It was so close, you see.
Oh, I hadn't realized.
Oh yes, that street, Briar Road. That's the boundary between Rolly's beat and the next one. Isn't that right, my love?
Constable Beat. Oh, yes, that's right. The reason I was helping out with the interviewing the occupants of the Garredeb's household yesterday. The house is on my beat, you see, sir. That really was cutting it close then. Constable, I wonder if you could clarify something. If the Garredeb household is on your beat, does that mean that the pavement next to it is as well?
Outside Mr. Garredeb's house? Yes, ma'am. The pavement is on that side of the road is part of my beat.
I see. I was unaware of that.
Just think, if the woman had been attacked just on the other side of Briar Road, we would never have been able to go for that meal to celebrate our wedding anniversary. But that's the life of a bobby, after all.
Extraordinary people are bobbies, tirelessly working for the benefit of all Londoners.
Do you know what I think? I think it was the good Lord's way of rewarding my Rolly for all his hard work. Don't you think so, my darling?
That must be it, Pet, my love. That must be it.
I think perhaps we should make sure we have that information officially on record.
Leave it to me, Mr. Naruhodo. I'll take care of it immediately.
Cool.
And now it's my turn, I think. Obviously, if anything had been thrown out of the window, we would have seen it.
Hold it!
But according to my notes here, the sun has gone down and already when it was dark.
Oh, but Rolly and I were strolling along, gazing at the night sky and looking for our lucky star.
Sorry?
The star that will guide us to eternal happiness.
Can't it guide you to the answer to answer the question? If a flaming book is cut across the sky in front of us, it would have lit up like a shooting star.
And if I'd seen a shooting star, I would have made a wish upon it. Let Rolly be an inspector, I would have said, 3 times at least.
Of course, what with the smog and everything, we couldn't actually see any stars. In short, are you trying to say that neither a book nor a knife crossed the sky before you?
Yes, sir, that is correct, sir. As sure as the night sky in London is starless, sir.
Certainly seems like they're telling the truth. And then when we saw the poor woman fall to the ground, so we ran... And then we ran straight over to help her. I did leave the scene and go fetch help, but my trusty Rolly was there to make sure nothing was disturbed.
Hold it!
Yes, you said that you went to a nearby police box to fetch another officer, is that right? That's right, yes. If it had been on Rolly's beat, I would have known exactly where I was going, of course. Don't feel bad, my love. You can't be expected to know the location of every police box on every beat. So, Rolly told me the way, only I sort of got a little lost on the way. Patricia, my darling, that's why I love you. Your terrible sense of direction is bewitching to me.
That's why you love her?
Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly.
Oh, please.
So I suppose I was gone for about 15 minutes. But like I said, my Rolly was at the scene the whole time, making sure nothing was disturbed.
I was off duty at the time, of course, but a true Bobby is never really off duty, sir.
And DJ Drone is here. Oh, Pat, oh, Rolly. So funny. How you doing today, DJ Drone? How was your thingy today? You have ice cream cake?
Lucky. I want ice cream cake.
Is it good?
I didn't take my eyes off the crime scene for one moment. Nothing to report in the front, sir. Hold it!
Nothing to report.
That's correct, sir.
Oh, hang on. Okay.
I said I had eyes wide open the entire time. Never looked away for a second.
It was good.
Lucky. I love ice cream cake.
No one else approached the scene and nothing was removed from it. I can swear that on the yard's honor, sir.
Really? That seems a little strange.
Beg your pardon, sir. Strange, sir? Seems altogether regular to me.
This burnt copy of The Lion's Pride was originally in the Garadeb household, so the question remains, how did it find its way into the hand of the victim? Can you shed any light on that, seeing as you were at the scene of the crime the entire time?
Aha, could it be a different copy, sir? One that just happened to be burnt as well?
Even if that were possible, why would the victim have been gripping a book like that in her hand? As we can see from this photographic print, she had a bag over her shoulder. Well, sir,
that book was in the lady's hand from the moment we arrived at the scene.
Is that so? There's something about this statement that's not sitting right with me. The two mysteries of how that knife ended up in her back, and how that book ended up in her hand. There must be some common thread between them.
Can I ask you something? Please, Mr. Lawyer, sir?
Oh, yes, of course. What is it?
You're doubting us, aren't you? I can tell.
What? I wasn't really... I mean, what's she doing? My opinion on this game? It's great. It's a little different, because we don't see the usual Ace Attorney characters, aside from Pain. But it's good. I likes it.
Please, just because I'm a woman, it doesn't make my testimony any less valuable. You might just see me as the wife of a policeman, but I'm a woman of my word, I am.
I really don't remember ever suggesting that I doubted you.
No excuses, I don't want to hear it. My voice will be heard. My lord, you'll let me speak, won't you?
Yes, Mrs. Beat, I will allow you to supplement your testimony if you so desire. Sometimes the path of least resistance is the sage one. That was a very loud mutter.
I heard that. The Japanese man thinks a policeman's wife's word counts for nothing, does he? Well, watch out, sir. I might let you get away with something like that, but my Rolly won't.
Duly noted, Mrs. Beat. Please, I humbly ask you to continue. Well, what could she possibly be about to say, I wonder?
I know what I saw. My eyes never let me down. My sense of direction is a little off sometimes, though. Did I take my eyes on that to report, sir? I know what I saw. Hold it!
Mrs. Beat, nobody is questioning what you told us. I saw it, I did. That evening I saw it clearly. The little Eastern man with the whiskers and the funny curved back, slicking away from the scene. Ha. And I know what I didn't see as well. I didn't see any flaming books or knives flying through the sky. All very clear. You also mentioned something about having a poor sense of direction? Oh yes, well, that's a little embarrassing, really. I'm always ending up at the wrong place when I've made arrangements to meet Rolly. He gets ever so cross.
Excuse me!
Constable Beat, is there a problem? No, sir. No problem, sir. Did your wife's remark just now bring something to mind, perhaps? Oh, well, in a way, sir. Yes, sir. I was just remembering that the same thing happened that evening, is all. You mean Mrs. Beat lost her way on the night of the incident? Well, you see, I sent her off to find a police box in the next beat over from mine, but she was gone a fair bit longer than what I was expecting. Thought she'd be back inside 10 minutes, but my darling was gone a good 15. Is she okay? Probably. Maybe not, but probably. Oh, Rolly, you're such a tease. But the reason I was so long was because of the bouquet, silly. The bouquet? Sorry, what bouquet are you talking about? Oh, it was a present for our wedding anniversary. Rolly's so romantic. You're gonna lurk, DJ Drone? Gotcha. He saved up for it with farthings and halfpennies he found in the gutter while doing his rounds. Aren't halfpennies, like, less costly than, pennies, guys? Well, am I right, about that? Yes, how romantic. I'd forgotten about it until just now. Had you, my darling? Oh, yes. But that was just between us. No talking about it to anyone else, darling. You have to promise. Really? Oh. What was that all about? Constable Beat looked very obviously troubled during that exchange. I'm afraid I can't offer any useful insight, Mr. Naruhodo. But I'm quite sure of one thing. We have to ask Mrs. Beat about the bouquet. Hey, pennies are half a penny. Oh, half a penny, okay? There was a time you could actually buy things with them, unlike pennies, nickels, and dimes today. Gotcha. I knew that. I recognized that word because of that Animaniacs movie. You know the one. Mrs. Beat, this bouquet you just mentioned, I'd like you to add details about it to your testimony, please. Oh, really? Yes, I'd love to. What happened was, I dropped my bouquet and ended up losing my way for a while. So let me, save real quick. You do indeed know the one. She got a penny today. She got a penny, hooray! Alright. Okay.
Hold it!
You mean you dropped the bouquet at the scene of the crime? Yes, that's right. I was so upset when we ran over and saw it was a woman with a knife in her back. I was so shocked I dropped the bouquet Rolly gave me. It was in the dark spot where the streetlights weren't casting any light, so I didn't notice it first. And then, you went to the police box to report it to the policeman whose beat it was on? Yes, and I came back to the scene together with the other constable, you see? That's when I spotted my bouquet again. But the funny thing was, when I went to pick it up, it was nowhere near the victim's body at all. In case you need reminding, Mrs. Beat, the victim is not deceased. I was all flustered for a moment before I heard a voice calling me from the other side of the road. Your husband, presumably? That's right, silly me. I'd gone over to the wrong side of the street. Although I'm going to blame the bouquet this time. I can't think how it got there. I really can't. So the bouquet somehow moved from one side of Briar Road to the opposite. Curious indeed. Isn't it? But the worst of it is, I forgot to pick up the bouquet up again when we left the scene. The beautiful rose Broly bought me, with that change from the gutter he spent so long collecting.
By bouquet, do you perhaps mean this sorry solitary rose?
Oh! Oh! Yes, yes, that's it! That's the bouquet Roly bought me for our anniversary, with old bits of change he found in the gutter.
Maybe just call it a rose. Tell us, Lord Van Zakes, where did you come by the flower? According to the report by the police officer in charge of the crime scene investigation, it was found on the edge of the pavement in front of the Garideb household. In front of the Garideb's house? Although it wasn't noticed until the morning, as it lay where the street lamps cast no light. It was believed to be of no relevance to the case, since it was found on the opposite side of the thoroughfare.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Can I have it back now, please?
No, I think for good measure this rose should be added to the court record as evidence.
Oh. Fudge. But it's a symbol of our love. I want it back after the trial. Do you hear me? I want it back.
Good grief. Rest assured that I shall do my very best not to forget, Mrs. Beat.
I didn't take my eyes off the crime scene for one moment, sir. Nothing strange to report on that front, sir.
Alright, now I think I can present a thing. Okay. Nothing to report, huh? How about this? Okay. You claim, Constable Beat, there was nothing to report in the 15 or so minutes you were guarding the scene. But that cannot be.
What? What do you mean to say?
In your testimony just now, Mrs. Beat, you explained to the court that when you arrived back in the scene of the crime with the policeman assigned to that beat, the bouquet you had dropped on the victim's side was no longer anywhere nearby.
Objection!
Yes, on the opposite side of Briar Road to where the victim was attacked. But considering the size of that meager bouquet, if a single sorry blossom can be so described, no doubt it was blown in the wind across the street, back into the gutter where it belongs.
Meager?
Objection!
But if that were the case, why did Constable Beat not testify to the fact? No one else approached the scene and nothing was removed from it. Constable Beat swore to that on Scotland Yard's honor. But the bouquet belonged to me. It had nothing to do with the case. That's why Rolly didn't mention it, I'm sure.
No, because sadly it's not only your bouquet we're talking about here. More than one thing in this case is mysteriously the wrong way around. What are you talking about? Think about it. Besides Mrs. Beat's bouquet, there's Mr. Garideb's book. Mr. Garideb's copy of The Lion's Pride, which was thrown out of the window by his wife, would have struck the pane of the casement window and landed here on the west side of the street. And yet, it was actually found here on the opposite side of the road in the victim's hand. Meanwhile, according to the testimony we've heard, Mrs. Beat's bouquet should have been dropped here on the scene of the crime on the east side of the street. But in fact, it was actually found here on the opposite side of the road, in front of Mr. and Mrs. Garideb's house. There's no logical explanation for these things, unless somebody deliberately moved them.
What are you trying to say? The way you're talking, it sounds like you think my Rolly done something wrong.
Don't you listen to a word that
scrawny lawyer says. Withering on about books and bouquets. Why should we care? It's nitpicking, that's what it is.
Oh, good. Mrs. Garideb's come around.
I might call it nitpicking, Mrs. Garideb. But deliberately meddling with the scene of a crime is a criminal offense. It's called, tampering with Mr. Naruhodo. But the person responsible for this tampering cannot admit it, for a very subtle but compelling reason.
Objection!
tampering. You barely heard the term before. Tell us, my learned friend. What would possibly have had causes to... Who would possibly have had cause to carry out such an elaborate deception? Yes, there is someone who tampered with the scene of the crime that evening. All the evidence and all the testimony points to that one particular person. Counsel, I must demand that you substantiate this conjecture. Who are you saying is responsible for tampering with the scene of the crime?
It's none other than... Rolly Beat!
Take that!
Okay, obviously there is only one person it could have been. Constable Rolly Beat, it was you. What? A policeman? A member of Scotland Yard?
What nonsense! Why would my Rolly do something like that? There's no one straighter than my husband. No Bobby works more tirelessly for the people of London.
Mrs. Beat, you said in your testimony that your husband asked you to go into a nearby public box to fetch the officer on duty. The 15 minutes that you were absent from the scene is the only opportunity anyone has to tamper with it.
You're making it up. It's all nonsense. It's all lies. What about the Japanese man with the whiskers? I bet it was him. He did it.
If that was true, Constable Beat would have seen him do it.
Oh. And forgive me for pointing it out, but when you dropped your bouquet, Mrs. Beat, it was after the defendant had fled the scene. Well...
Objection!
First you make accusations about the landlord and his wife, and now you incriminate a policeman as well. But your accusations lack one very important thing. You claim that the crime scene was tampered with, but there is only one reason anyone would commit such a reckless crime: to hide something.
That's right, he's right. But my husband and I just happened to be there, that's all. So why would we have anything to hide? It doesn't make sense.
You're offered no motive for this alleged tampering, and until you do, your accusations are nothing but empty threats. Constable Beat has a very good reason for wanting to tamper with the scene of the crime. That's the key to this entire affair.
Mr. Naruhodo, have you managed to solve this mystery?
Counsel, you have made a very serious accusation against a London police officer. If you are mistaken, I'm sure I need not point out that your reputation as a lawyer will be irrevocably damaged. With that stark warning in mind, you will now explain to the court the motive for this alleged tampering. Yes, my lord. Constable Beat's motive for tampering with the crime scene was to hide...
where? The victim fell.
All right. Where the victim fell to the ground. That is what this Bobby had to cover up at all costs. What?
Where the victim fell? You mean where she was attacked? What are you talking about? We told you at the very start, didn't we? On the pavement of Briar Road. We saw it happen, remember? It was right here, as if anyone didn't already know.
That's certainly what everybody had been led to believe, but in fact, that isn't where the victim was stabbed at all.
What? What? What?
I'm beginning to wonder where this tumultuous trial will end, counsel. If that's your assertion, then the court is dying to know, my Nipponese friend. Where are you proposing that the crime actually took place that evening?
Right here.
Okay? Right there.
Take that!
Okay, but that's on the opposite side of the road.
I don't understand.
On the evening in question, Mr. Garadev's book fell directly down from the open window above, and your bouquet, Mrs. Beat, never moved at all. What did move was the scene of the crime itself. Good gracious!
Objection!
Perhaps you haven't been listening to the ample testimony of the court he has heard. But these witnesses both saw the moment the attack took place.
That's right. I saw it with my own eyes.
It was 5 o'clock in the evening and already dark. There was the typical London fog on the ground. When you saw the incident unfold and ran to the victim's aid, and that was actually on the west side of Briar Road.
No, that's not true. It can't be. It can't have been.
Constable Beat then arranged for you to be absent for a while by sending you for help. And during the 15 minutes you were away, he transplanted the crime scene. He moved all the things shown in the print, the victim herself, the 4 books. He moved everything, in fact, to the east side of Briar Road. Extraordinary! But the constable overlooked one thing.
What? What did he overlook?
The bouquet, I presume. Give me a second, guys. Okay, exactly.
The prosecution told the court just a few minutes ago about the discovery of the rose bouquet. Lord Van Zeek said it wasn't noticed until the morning as it lay where the street lamps cast no light.
Yes, it couldn't be seen in the dark, obviously.
Which is why it was only the bouquet that was found in its original position on the pavement on the west side of Briar Road.
And that is the defense's theory about what really happened that evening. How do you respond? Constable Rolly Beat.
Well, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to nod off again, but I haven't slept properly in a month. Did I miss anything important? Oh, Rolly. It isn't true, is it? What the lawyer said is all lies, isn't it? I know it is, because you're the most upstanding, righteous man I know. I had a dream, a terrible dream. All the things I did that night, everything come out, everything exposed. Only, it seems, it wasn't a dream at all.
Good golly!
How in trouble is this cop now?
Order! What on earth is the meaning of all this?
No, Rolly, why? Why would you do something like this? She says with a smile in her face. Moving a corpse is a criminal offense, isn't it? Wishing the victim dead should be one too.
Constable, explain yourself. Why would you do this? As a respected member of Scotland Yard, your duty is to protect the good people of London Town.
I can't say, sir.
What?
I really am ever so sorry about all this. For damaging the Yard's reputation, for everything.
I have a possible explanation. For why, on that particular evening, Constable Beat felt compelled to move the scene of the crime. I can think of one reason. What? How could you possibly know? You, a foreigner, presuming to understand the mind of a Scotland Yard policeman. And yet, Lord Van Zeeks, it is this foreigner who has uncovered the startling truth of the matter thus far. I believe it would be beneficial to the court to hear this extraordinarily young lawyer's theory. Counsel for the defense, if you please.
Yes, my lord.
Now then, I think you had better show us some evidence. At once, my lord. England, Japan, it makes no difference where you come from. Human emotions are the same. And I think I have a fairly good idea of the feelings behind this man's actions. What gives away the motive for Constable Beat's unthinkable actions?
That would be this.
Take that!
Give me a second, guys. Okay. I realize that I'm a foreigner in this land, and I only just arrived from Japan, which is why all this information about London's so-called bobbies is completely new to me. I've learned that though honorable, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world, for example. keeping the peace, looking after the citizens on his beat in all kinds of ways. There's no doubt that the young Bobby is charged with a great deal to do each day, certainly. But for Constable Beat, the day in question was special. Special? How? On account of this bouquet, my lord.
Oh, yes. It was our very first wedding anniversary.
Constable Beat had worked so hard to be able to afford this simple gift for his wife, and was so looking forward to taking her out for a celebratory meal, when he and Mrs. Beat stumbled upon a crime along Briar Road. When he saw that shadowy figure through the fog collapsed on the pavement ahead of him, what must have gone through the man's mind?
But sir, just on the one particular day I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Mrs. Beat put up with a lot of me being married to a Bobby like me. I wanted to show my dear wife how much I cared.
This is the warrant card that Constable Beat offered to lend to me earlier. Inside, among the rules for patrolling policemen, it says, when a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with the initial investigation and help detectives. Aha! Constable Beat, is that or is that not the reason why you moved the whole scene of the crime that day?
Yes. Everything you said, it's all right.
So that's it. It was all to do with the boundary of your beat.
Oh.
Exactly. To summarize, the incident actually occurred on Constable Beat's beat. Good gracious! Constable, do you realize the gravity of what you have done?
It wasn't the first time since I became a copper, or it was the first time that I ever cursed God. Stay close to me, Pat. The criminal could still be lurking somewhere.
As we ran over to the scene, I had every intention of doing my duty as a police officer.
We've got to report this to the station as quickly as possible.
But then it dawned on me. I realized where we were, where the victim was lying, and what that meant for me. When a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with initial investigations and help detectives.
Why here? Why did this have to happen here? And why tonight, of all things? Why?
It's a copper's job to guard the scene of the crime, so I told Pat she'd have to go to the nearest police box and fetch whoever was on duty there. It was then, when I opened my mouth to speak, it just came out. I couldn't believe the words that were coming out of my own mouth. This is the next beat to mine, Pat. So you have to go to the police box that covers it. Turn right along Meerschaum Street, and then... So is this guy fired, do you think? Like, very, very fired? Very fired?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, Constable. Yeah, it's not kosher.
Not kosher. Whatever kosher means.
I just wanted just that one night to take my Patricia out for dinner. Oh, Rolly. Just that one night.
You knew that if the incident was on your beat, your evening of celebration would be ruined. And so you decided to move the entire crime scene outside your jurisdiction, just across the street, to the east pavement of Briar Road, which falls under the neighboring beat's care.
You see, I thought... Well, I was sure the victim was dead, you see.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, of course he did. Otherwise my Rolly would never have left the poor woman on the freezing cold pavement.
I see your meaning now.
But God got me back for my sins, didn't he? That's why I missed the rose I bought for Pat. Oh no, Rolly, that was all my fault. I should never have dropped it in such a dark place. I'm so sorry, Rolly.
And can you tell us, Constable? How many books did you move from one side of the road to the other in total?
4 it was. Yes, sir, definitely, 4. 3 of them dropped by Mr. Natsumi, and the 4th being the one that fell from the window upstairs in the Garadeb household, of course. But what made you place the book in the victim's hand? When all the others were scattered haphazardly around, I mean. Oh, well, sir, that's how I found it.
How you found it? What do you mean?
When we first ran over to the scene, the victim was already holding the book. So when I moved everything, I made sure it was still in her hand. You're
sure it was this book, The Lion's Pride, that the victim was holding?
Oh, yes, sir. No doubt about it, sir.
Interesting.
I thought it was an open and shut case at the time, you see. There were only the 2 people on the scene, and Pat and me both saw it happen. However, whether which way you looked at it, it had to be a fellow who ran off who'd done it, I thought. I couldn't see the harm, really. I didn't think moving it all over the road would make a jot of difference. I suppose this is it for me now. I've had it.
My lord.
Yes, Lord Van Zeeks?
I believe that concludes the cross-examination of the witnesses. Constable, you may withdraw.
Yes, sir. Mr. Prosecutor, sir, what will become of my Rolly? What will happen to him?
For now, you are free to go home. The police will contact you in due course.
Please, don't punish my husband. This was all my fault. It's because I'm always moaning at him for coming home late.
Leave it now, Pat. Let's go home. I'm tired.
All right then, my love.
One last thing, Constable.
Sir?
Let this be a lesson to you. In a criminal investigation, every detail matters, however insignificant it may seem to you.
Yes, sir.
Carve that lesson into your mind. And never again make the mistake of tampering with the scene of a crime.
Never again, sir. You mean to say?
Leave, now. This trial is not yet over.
Sir!
Maybe he'll live to police another day, guys. Well, quite a startling revelation, I must say. Ever thought of a third party transplanting the entire scene of a crime like that? Indeed, my lord. Nevertheless, there are some immutable facts here. Principally, that the accused Mr. Sosuke Natsume is the only person who could possibly have committed this crime.
Objection!
No, I disagree. Now that we know the true scene of the incident, there is someone else. Another person who could be responsible for the knife in the victim's back. Forgive me for being presumptuous, but I believe the prosecution is probably well aware of the possibility already. Lord Van Zeeks, is this true? Very well. Name the person, if you will, and if further investigation is warranted, then the prosecution has no objections to the trial continuing. You will name this other person who could have perpetrated this crime. Well, guys, moment of truth. Who do you think it is? Because I know who it is. That's right. It's none other than... you.
Take that!
The defense would once again like to request the cross-examination of a new witness, my lord. Once again? My assistant made the same request earlier. In order to finally reveal the truth about this case, it's imperative that we cross-examine juror number 4, Mrs. Joan Garadeb.
Me? Oh, dearie me.
Objection!
That request has already been denied.
Objection!
Saw that coming from the word go? Cool.
but the situation is very different now. Mr. Garadeb, answer me this. What do you want now, you little toad? At the time of the incident, you were engaged in a violent argument with your husband, Mr. John Garadeb. In the course of the argument, a minor house fire was ignited, and to clear the smoke from the room, your husband opened a window that looks out over Briar Road. Well, what of it? You threw this book at your husband, when he was cornered with his back against the window. Upon striking the pane of the open top-hinged casement window, the book plummeted directly down, finding its way to what we now know to be the true scene of the crime incident. Yes, and as I said, what of it? During the argument, you were beside yourself with rage. As such, you threw not just books, but anything you could lay your hands on. So, let me ask you one more time, Mrs. Garadeb. This knife, the one removed from the victim's back, have you really never laid eyes on it before? Ah! I don't recall it. Seriously? Am I supposed to remember everything I picked up and threw at my husband? And anyway, the man over there is in all that Regalia said members of the jury needn't testify, didn't he? Conveniently, yes.
Objection!
No, I have no recollection of saying that at all, juror number 4.
Oh!
Make no mistake, you jurors are not special in any way. You are not immune to the judicial process. If you know something about this knife, madam, let the truth come out.
But that's just a common or garden knife. It could have come from anywhere. We have several like that at home. If one went missing, how would you expect me to know?
What's that? Are you joking? What are you saying? Please, Mrs. Garadeb.
Now you listen to me. I refuse to believe all this nonsense. I couldn't bear the thought that I'd injure someone. Do you hear? I couldn't bear it. Oh, the poor woman. So, yes, I want evidence. I want to see hard evidence if you're going to insist on this being my fault. You're going to have to prove to me that I threw that knife, if that's what you think. Come along now. Chop chop.
Do your worst.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo, if I had evidence like that, believe me, I would have thrown it at her already.
Then take the stand, juror.
Oh!
The prosecution does not object to the defense's request to cross-examine this woman.
Thank you, Lord Van Zeeks. I'm going to have to testify?
Juror number 4, as I'm sure you will appreciate, having observed it with your own eyes today, witness testimony can lead to the most extraordinary truths being unearthed, truth of which the witness themselves may not even have been aware.
Oh, dearie me.
So I demand your full and unadulterated testimony, Mrs. Garadeb, and mark my words, in this court of law today, we shall extract the truth. Do you concur, counsels?
Certainly, my lord.
Oh, that's what I'm hoping for, my lord. This is such a strange feeling. For the first time since arriving in this country, it actually feels real. I'm here, in the Old Bailey, and I'm a lawyer.
Hang on, Granny.
Hey. Witness, state your name and occupation.
Oh, yes, my name is Joan Garadeb. And I'm a juror, and such like.
And sounds like even she doesn't know if she's a housewife or a maid, or what anymore. The court has decided your testimony is required in order to clarify matters in this case. Do you understand, madam?
Yes, my lord.
You will tell the court everything that took place in your household on the evening in question. And I warn you, do not attempt to hide the truth.
Oh, dearie me.
Chin up, Joni. Nothing to worry about now.
Hey, look who's here. Oh, I didn't know you were here, John.
Hey. Wasn't only you in the room that day, old thing, was it? Rather think I ought to testify as well, don't you?
But what about your knee, dear?
Don't you worry about that. Hardly notice it. I'm not the sort of chap to leave a comrade to face disciplinary action alone.
Oh, John.
I presume you are Mr. John Garadeb? Yes, sir. Former second lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment of the 4th Northumberland Fulsier, sir. Seen my fair share of action and now living the quiet life, as it were. The quiet life. Were you not engaged in an incendiary battle with your spouse on the day in question? Ah, well, yes, I am, quite. I believe this may represent a first in the proud history of the British court. Calling a juror to the witness stand is unprecedented. However, the court will hear your testimony now, juror number 4, and that of your husband. You will recount clearly and concisely the events of your home on the day of the incident in question. Sir, at once. Yes, on the day you're referring to. The wife and I did have a bit of a skirmish. Can't recall the reason now. Knocked a candlestick over and set fire to the carpet. Soon had it out, though, and got the window open.
Meanwhile, I was picking up whatever I could find to throw at him.
Plenty of knives around our place. Can't say I noticed if 1 or 2 went missing, I'm afraid. If that bally thing in the victim's back really was one of ours, you would have a job proving it, I think. Sounds as though it was quite the battlefield in your household that evening. Although an entirely one-sided assault, it seems. The enemy caught us on the hop, sir. Had no choice but to dig in and take defensive measures. To be honest, if the enemy had kept shelling us for another minute, we'd have been toast. Of course, a veteran such as myself is only too aware that on every battlefield you're just a gnat's whisker from death at any moment.
Are we still talking about a marital quarrel here?
Well, I must say I'm dubious that this testimony will shed any light on the origins of this jackknife. In combat, one's focus narrows such that surroundings are barely noticed. These witnesses may not be able to offer anything more than they have just testified already. This may be a dead end.
Van Zeeks may well be right. Well, whatever the chances, we only have this last cross-examination to uncover the truth, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, I'm afraid so. Very well, counsel. Begin your cross-examination.
Here we go.
No.
Hold it!
Even though the room was on fire, as far as I was concerned at the time, it was more important to extinguish my anger than the flames. What a woman wants to throw, she must throw. That is most certainly not true of a Susato takedown, Mr. Naruhodo. How did she know I was thinking of that? So, please cast your mind back and try to remember. Was a knife among the items you threw at your husband that day? And honestly, I don't recall, but I feel I must point out that I'm not no monster. Let me see. Some bread, a cabbage, garlic, a towel, and a sponge, a napkin.
Well, what's going on here now?
Excuse me!
Okay. Do you have something to add, sir?
Mr. Garadeb. Don't shoot. Sorry, I beg your pardon.
Did your wife's remark just now bring something to mind?
Nothing of any significance, no. Just that the barrage of projectiles the old thing launched in my direction was somewhat more solid than she implies. Books, bricks, and the fire poker, I seem to recall. Ouch. And the woman's aim is uncanny. She landed a direct hit with every bally. Agh! Good grief, woman, we're not at home now. This is a court of law.
Oh, dearie me. Ever so sorry, dear.
What's she even doing with a teapot in here?
Honestly, John, I would never have thrown such things at you, obviously.
How in trouble is she right now? Considering she has a teapot and she just burned her husband again. Well, take a look at this then. How do you suppose that that happened? Your pipe, sir? Had this thing in my hand as usual at the time of the onslaught. Knocked it clean out with one of her soft projectiles, she did. Yes. And when I went to pick the thing up, it was broken in two. Like to see a sponge do that sort of damage. I see. Your pipe was broken. It was never had been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Anyway, I managed to bandage the thing up for now.
Ah, you are one to exaggerate, aren't you, dear?
Wonder where we should make of this account. Could be important. The difference between believes Mr. Garadev's remarks just now do be of great significance.
Objection!
This war veteran's words only tell us one thing. Betray a fiery wife and pipes, as well as hearts, may be broken. Sentimental wisdom, perhaps, but hardly worthy of adding to the formal testimony. Indeed, common sense, one might say. Might one? In that case, would you at least permit us to examine the pipe, sir? Well, I don't see why not.
Oh, dearie me, there you go again, trying to ingratiate yourself with a young lady.
Very well, the court will accept the gentleman's pipe as evidence. Wow, my eyes.
Hope I didn't speak out of turn, Mr. Naruhodo. What do you say we examine the pipe, guys? Looks like a normal pipe.
Oh,
something just twinkled inside the chamber of the pipe there. Yes, I saw it. Something stuck in there, I think. Let's turn it over and give it a shake. What's this? It's a tiny fragment of metal. It looks like the tip of a blade or something.
the tip of a blade? Surely, it couldn't be.
Oh ho ho ho! Have we got her, guys?
I don't think I examined this yet.
Double? Oh ho 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 ho!
Oh, look here, Mr. Naruhodo. Just at the tip. A small piece of the blade appears to be missing.
Wait, part of it's missing?
I could be wrong, but I've just got a feeling.
Remember this?
Ah, that's... that's the tiny fragment of metal that we found inside Mr. Garadep's pipe.
Yes, and just maybe...
Oh my! It's a perfect fit!
Somehow, I just knew it. As they say, guys, she cooked.
I was just feeling rather disappointed for you that your request was turned down. Oh no, it's fine.
Thanks to Susato-sen, we have some new evidence to work with.
We should examine it carefully.
Well, thank you for that, rebuttal, Mr. Garadeb. Now if we could return to the crux of the matter, what can you tell of the court about the knife used to attack the victim? Alright. Do you have a job proving it?
Oh, I can prove it alright.
Guess what? What's this?
Objection!
Mr. Garadeb, could I ask you to take a look at this, please? You can ask, but I can't see the Abali thing.
You can't?
Used to call me Dead-Eye Deb back in the regiment, of course, but that was some time ago now. Even when I'm trying to enjoy a large print book by the fire these days. I struggle to tell a B from a D and a P from a Q, to be honest.
Oh, he does. Dearie me, it's rather wearing being asked about every other letter and every other word.
You mustn't be very dizzy. Wow. What is that? A tiny scrap of metal?
Yes, almost certainly from the tip of a blade. And what may appear to be at first to be just a tiny scrap is in fact a crucial piece of testimony.
Interesting. And where did the defense come by this evidence?
It was lodged in the chamber of Mr. Garadeb's pipe.
My pipe, you say? By Jove, I wonder how that got there. And what precisely does this fragment of metal signify, Counsel? Are you suggesting that it is in some way related to the matter of the stabbing on Briar Road? I am. What? When put together with another piece of evidence already in the court record, I believe this tiny fragment of metal will unravel the whole truth of this case, my lord. She's on a container. You appear rather confident in that extraordinary statement, counsel. Very well then, present the pertinent evidence to the court. What evidence was paired with this fragment of metal alleged reveals the truth of this entire case? It's this.
Take that!
That is the knife that was found in the victim's back. If you look closely, you will see that there is a small piece at the tip of the blade that is missing. A common issue with the inferior blade sold at unsavory street markets. Criminals who use them regularly leave the tips lodged in the victim's bones. And what of this particular knife? No doubt its tip has suffered a similar fate, now languished somewhere near the spine of the victim.
Objection!
No, that's not the case. The tip of this particular knife's blade is the very fragment of metal we discovered in the chamber of Mr. Garadeb's pipe. Ah! Arrgh! Good grief, Lord Van Zeeks? I don't believe it. The knife from the crime scene and this fragment of metal are their perfect match. Good golly gosh! Ordar! Is this some sort of Eastern sorcery? This is no magic, my lord. This is a miracle. A miracle? So Van Zeeks has figured it out, has he? Counsel, explain this extraordinary coincidence at once. Yes, my lord. The crucial point we have to ask ourselves here is when did the fragment of metal find its way inside Mr. Garadeb's pipe? Something that was clarified to us in the most recent witness testimony. Had this thing in my hand as usual at the time of the onslaught. Knocked it clean out with one of her soft projectiles she did. Yes. Weird words. I know, right? It would never have been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Oh, dearie me. During the argument between these two that occurred just as the victim was on the pavement below, Mrs. Garadeb flung this knife at her husband. However, the knife missed at Mr. Garadeb instead of striking the pipe in his hand at the time, which caused the tip to break off, of course. Good lord! Yes, and this is when the tiny tip of the blade found its way inside Mr. Garadeb's pipe. Then, the chances of that are 1,000,000 to 1, or the chances of that. And yet there's no other credible explanation for how the tip of the blade ended up in your pipe. Then, after losing its tip, the knife ricocheted off the pipe and flew out of the open window. In short, this knife which fell from the window of the Garadeb's house is the very same knife that struck the victim in the middle of the back on the street below. Oh gosh, oh dear, oh no!
Objection!
Someone's having a hard time, huh? Yep. But now we're about to have a hard time. Once again. A full-bodied theory, I'll give you that. A complex bouquet of seemingly trivial points, plausibly arranged to create an almost passable vintage. Allow me to toast my learned friend's characteristically Nipponese approach to bottling his argument. Sorry? But after all, it is just a theory. The bottle, I fear, is corked. Because you see, it's spoiled by an insurmountable inconsistency. An insurmountable... What? Lord Van Zeeks, explain yourself. What is this inconsistency you claim to have identified? An inconsistency of the simplest nature, my lord. The victim was found with a knife planted in the middle of her back. Yes, in her... That's right, you silly little man. Now, Joan, old thing, what are you getting so excited about? Let us consider the basic facts of the case once more. The victim was walking along the pavement before being stabbed in the back and falling to the ground. If the knife had struck her from falling from above, there's no possible way it could have planted itself into the victim's back. Gag! Is his bathrobe burned, by the way? Ordar, Ordar! Quite right, you see. That's exactly right. If the knife had fallen on her from above, it would have struck her on the top of her head. Well, he's lost for words. Look. I knew it. I never liked his theory in the first place. I don't know, though. What really did happen? It would appear the defense has made a rather spectacular blunder. If a theory has even one inconsistency, it cannot stand. Your theory, my learned friend, is history. We were so close. I could see the truth. I was so sure we were on the right track. But now the way has been blocked completely by just one simple inconsistency. Or in other words, we simply need to eliminate that one inconsistency and the theory will stand. Mr. Sato. You mustn't worry, Mr. Naruhodo. You were just caught off guard, that's all, and your mind went blank. But if the path you were on is indeed correct, then a way will present itself. The key to this is in the court of record. I'm sure all the information you need is there. It seems you have nothing to say, my Nipponese friend. Well, your silence speaks volumes. A tact acceptance that your theory is fatally flawed. The back of his bathrobe is gone, and we can see his underoos. This inconsistency doesn't mean I was on the wrong track. It means that I need to sharpen my mind and dig deeper for the truth. It's a test. Yes. If the knife fell on the victim from above, there's no way that it could have hit her in the middle of her back. Under normal circumstances, that is. What are you implying? Counsel? There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can explain this inconsistency, that can explain how the knife that fell from above could have pierced the victim's back. We already have the answer. Goodness! Utter madness! Surely this must be the last time. Counsel, present the evidence of which you speak. This is the last inconsistency, the final piece in the puzzle. If I can successfully make sense of this, the truth will be laid bare at last. The evidence that explains how the falling knife became lodged in the victim's back is the fourth book.
Take that!
The fourth book found at the scene. This is the final piece of evidence that the defense will present. The burnt book? Is that not Mr. Garadev's book? Yes, and to understand its significance, we have to consider how it came to be at the scene in the first place. This photographic print clearly shows the book in question, and the victim holding it in her hand. But as we all now know, it was the police constable that put the book between her fingers like that. Quite so, as part of his wholesale transplanting of the crime scene to the opposite side of the road. That's true. However, as part of his testimony, Constable Beat made an extremely enlightening statement on that point. But what made you place the book in the victim's hand? Oh, well, sir, that's because that's how I found it. When we first ran over to the scene, the victim was already holding the book. So when I moved everything, I made sure it was still in her hand. In other words, the victim had already picked the book up of her own volition, and clearly that must have been before she suffered the knife wound. Well, I should say so. After being attacked with a knife, I don't imagine she'd have been doing much of anything. So the question becomes, why did the victim have have that book in her hand. By Jingo! I think I'm beginning to see what may have happened now.
Oh, dearie me.
We know that the book fell from the top floor of the Garrett household onto the pavement below, at precisely the moment that the victim was walking past. Yes, at exactly that moment. The young woman was walking along the street in the light fog, when all of a sudden, a book fell right in front of her.
The book I threw.
Yes, Mrs. Garrideb, and what do you think the woman did? What would you do if you were walking along and suddenly a book landed in front of you on the pavement?
Well, I really can't imagine it, but I suppose she might have reached down and picked the book up.
Yes, that is exactly why the woman in fact did. She picked up the book.
Oh heavens!
And when that woman reached down to pick the fallen book up, what position would her back have been in? That's right, facing the sky, completely and utterly defenseless. Then, in the very next moment, while the woman was still bent over picking up the book, the next object fell from the room above, the jackknife, straight into the middle of her back. And at the same time, walking by chance directly behind Miss Green, was the defendant, Mr. Sosuke Natsumi.
Well, I never!
It appeared to Mr. Natsumi that the woman simply collapsed on the road. In the dark and the fog, he didn't see the knife falling on her from above.
Ah!
And from the other direction, the constable and his wife saw no one but the victim and her apparent attacker. So there never was a real culprit to run from the scene in the first place. No, this was nothing more than a series of unlikely events that culminated in an unfortunate accident. You're sensing a theme of unintended crimes here. And that is the real truth behind this case. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb.
The very first time you showed me that knife, I had my suspicions. I wondered if perhaps it might have been something like that.
There, old bean.
Poor Mrs. Garrideb. Of course, I never meant for anything of the sort to happen, but it was all my fault, wasn't it? I take full responsibility. I let my anger get the better of me. I threw that book, and I threw the knife as well. John, dear.
It's all right. I know.
I'm ever so sorry. Truly. I'm sorry!
The roles are reversed. Yeah, so far, Captain Chips. I won't say, any more on the matter, though. Or I better not, rather. Lord Van Zeeks, what news of Mrs. Garrideb? She's been taken to the infirmary. It would appear that today's events has left her in an especially flustered state. However, I believe she will recover in due course. There is no cause for concern. Yes, unbeknownst to themselves, they caused what could easily have been a terrible tragedy. They shall have to prepare themselves for the consequences of their actions. There is some good news, however, my lord. I have just had a word from the hospital where the victim was being treated. Her condition is improving steadily, and the doctor believes she will regain consciousness soon. It's strange. We've been talking about the victim all this time, but we've never once met her. How wonderful! The woman is out of danger, it seems. Yes, that is good news. So, Mr. Sosuke Natsumi?
Yes.
On behalf of my fellow countrymen, I would like to take this opportunity to beg your pardon, sir. You came from your distant eastern homeland to study our great British culture, and have been repaid with immeasurable unkindness. Please accept our heartfelt apologies. No, it is me who should be begging your pardon. Oh no, Mr. Natsumi. That evening, when the young woman was just collapsed on the pavement before my eyes, I jumped to the wrong conclusion again, in my confusion. What conclusion, sir? I was sure that the woman was dead. Yes, Constable Beat said the same thing, didn't he? He thought she had been killed too. I suppose she must have looked completely lifeless. It's been about a year since I arrived in Great Britain now, but I still can't get used to life here. I can't relax. I'm sure there are evil spirits lurking in the fog, like they're haunting me. Poor Soseki-san. His imagination really has got the better of him. Yes, poor man. So when it happened, I thought the young woman had been taken by the fog spirits. I should never have dropped my books like that and ran away.
I should have called for help, for a doctor, for the police.
Instead, I managed to create a rift in the relationship of trust between our two empires. As for that, I am truly sorry. One could indeed say that some sort of mischievous spirit has been at work here, I think. One that created the chain of unfortunate mishaps. You were befooled by the spirit, and led to false conclusions. But thanks to Lord Van Zeeks and our young lawyer here from the east, the chain has now been broken and the spirit exorcised. I heartily commend you both. Oh. Now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Yes, my lord. In concluding this trial, I must ask one last time for your decisions regarding the defense's culpability. Are you ready to present your findings to the court? As the foreman of this jury, I can assure you we've reached a fair and just conclusion.
I do declare the truth can be extremely cruel at times.
Well, I didn't suspect the woman next to me, that's for sure. Sending in for the old bean while she's out of action, you know, but I know what her decision would be. Does that mean I'll finally be able to get out of here and start work? Well, it's about time. I say I'll have a corker of a story to tell the grandchildren when I get home, won't I? Very well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I hereby demand your final decisions. Mr. Foreman.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Woo!
Yes! Hey, Blue Thunder! We just did it! We beat Case 4. How are you doing today? Very well, Mr. Soseki Natsumi. I hereby pronounce you... not guilty. Woo! Whew. And finally, Mr. Natsumi. Oh, yes, Lord Sir. You are now a free man once more. It is my hope that you will continue to further your education in British culture, and may you never again be brought before me. Oh, yes, sir, of course. On my life.
I swear I'll never set foot in a courtroom again. I'm transported to tears.
I'm doing good, Blue Thunder. I'm well. Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned. So, I must pose the question, guys. Where does Mrs. Garadeb belong on the Kill This Man list? I'd say another, no, not on it. Maybe like a tiny bit on it, because she's throwing things. She's a racist. Well, I think everyone in Japan, or everyone in Britain is at the moment. But that's about it. I think everyone in Japan right now is a racist to the poor guy.
Oh, locum. Wait, you mean me?
Of course. Is there another locum here?
There's all the poses. Yep, you love the poses.
Is there even one? Compared to the original locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, your name has become rather short, hasn't it? What's wrong with using my actual name? Oh, at last! I'm free! I'm free!
Joyful, joyous, jubilant, jubilation. Happy, hearty, happiness, hurrah!
Oh, I am pleased. Mr. Natsumi is delighted. Would it be so hard to just say that, then?
Locum, you did it.
You saved me from the brink. Well, what happened to the poor woman who was in no way your fault after all?
Guys, this was the first case that wasn't a murder, by the way. The first full non-murder case.
I'm just glad everyone who can see it that now.
No, not that. Lovely, loyal, locum, lawyer.
Yes? I mean, as I said before, I have just never got used to life here in Great Britain. Reminds me of Johnny Bravo. if he was not muscular, right? A little bit. Every time I look over my shoulder, I see foreigners. I see towering brick buildings, and from high up windows, I see them looking down on me, laughing. Look at that little hunchback. Oh dear, I'm sure it's all in your head, Mr. Natsumi.
But today, you locum lawyer gave my gloom the boot. You stood firm behind that baronial bench before all those babbling British. You battled to the bitter end, laying bare after the baffling truth. When I beheld your blinding fireworks among the elms of the Bailey's roof, I bellowed, "Behold, the best barrister ever born!"
Well, that's very flattering, and we're very pleased for you.
This has given me a wonderful anecdote to bring the account to my old friends back in Japan.
Ah, an anecdote? Is that what's to become of all my hard work? There you are, my dear fellows. I apologize for keeping you waiting. I rose late this morning. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, what a pleasure to see you. I see I'm here not a moment too soon. A disaster has been averted, I'm glad to say. Oh. The trial shall begin presently, Mr. Naruhodo, and I wish you the very best of luck. It's just finished. What? No! Then my haste was in vain?
Arg! It's you, Herlock Sholmes.
Oh, have we met, sir? This is Mr. Natsumi, the man you had arrested, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, I see. I failed to recognize you at first. Our previous encounters have taken place in the gloom, either of your bleak lodgings or that prison cell. I simply cannot place the curious face in the light. Charming.
This is all your fault, Herlock Sholmes. You're the reason I had to go through this terrible ordeal. I'm going to give you a piece of my mind.
My apologies, sir, but I assure you, I have placed you now. You're the fellow who abandoned that poor young lady and ran off, have you not?
Ah.
Best viewers! No. Has she taken to a hospital more urgently? I feel perhaps she would have regained consciousness by now.
Oh.
But it was unavoidable, I'm sure. We are but human after all. Anyone who would have been shaken by such an experience.
I do feel very badly about how I behaved.
Well, never mind. Now then, what was it that you wanted to say to me, sir?
Nothing.
Priceless. Oh, I am sorry, really, but... That was quite priceless.
Poor Soseki-san.
Still, on the bright side, you've had an extremely entertaining experience without paying a penny. And, it would seem, you were not even found guilty.
But there is no bright side.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Natsumi?
Even after this, I'm still cursed by the spirits, and now by the Reaper.
Ah, Lord Van Zeeks.
I haven't forgotten, you know, what facing that man in court means. Even if you have not found not guilty, you're still doomed.
It will all be all right, Mr. Natsumi. If the Reaper appears trying to make trouble, I will protect you. Hiya! With a perfectly executed Susato takedown. Much as I liked being turned on my head, a bit of warning might be nice next time, Miss Susato. So, Mr. Natsumi, what do you intend to do now? You mentioned something about recounting your experiences to your friends back in Japan? Yes, I intend to return to my homeland soon. Oh! It has already been a year since I arrived here in Great Britain. I visited universities, libraries, bookshops. I've been honored with the tutelage of professors. I've learned so much about the wealth of literature here, and the city it has shaped. And I've come to realize that it is my calling to sail home and tell my fellow countrymen about it. That's very touching, Mr. Natsumi. Or, in perhaps less veiled terms, you wish to withdraw halfway around the world to escape the terror of the Reaper's curse. Poor guy's just gotten used to being flipped upside down. I know. Poor, Naruhodo. You don't deserve it.
That's not it at all.
The more I learn of literature, the more of this strange feeling claws at my insides. I feel compelled to return to my roots and attempt to pen a work of my own. Oh, I see. A work of literature by Soseki-san. Could be an interesting read. And what about Miss Susato and yourself, Mr. Naruhodo? Sorry, what about us? Will you return to Japan alongside your mustached compatriot? Why would we? A week has not yet passed since we arrived in London, and only now does it feel as though we finally found our feet. And you are accommodated in a hotel at present, are you not? That's right. We need to find lodgings before it bankrupts us. I've calculated that we can only afford another 10 nights before our entire budget is exhausted. Well then, you could take my lodgings. Oh, the windowless room? Ah, but what it lacks in windows, it more than makes up for with a floor, a ceiling, and walls. Great. And of course, I'd be happy to leave behind the accursed evil spirit. Oh my, an evil spirit? Oh yes. It tries to suffocate you while you sleep if it's an insufferable wake-up call. Well, think about it, if that's alright. Perhaps I can offer a more welcome alternative. Would you consider taking lodgings with me? Really? Well, a vacancy has conveniently presented itself, though it is up in the attic, I might add. Are you sure it isn't just a storage loft? I spoke with the landlady this very morning on the matter of price, and Iris is cleaning the room as we speak. You must come at once. I presume you have no luggage to speak of? Oh, this is simply wonderful! What an honor to be invited to taking lodgings in the great detective's office's attic. I'm too overcome for words. So suggesting we look elsewhere is out then. And it's settled. Iris will prepare a welcome dinner this evening. And you must come too, Mr. Natsumi. I insist. I don't know what to say, but thank you, and yes. Wonderful. Then I'll go and complete the paperwork for your formal release, Mr. Natsumi. It shan't take long. Somebody's happy. Locum, I knew that you wouldn't let me down. I'm truly delighted to have met you here in London. Likewise, Mr. Natsumi. It's been a privilege meeting you, too. It's a shame that we're going to have to say goodbye so soon. Well, I've come to realize that I belong in Japan. But Locum, we'll meet again one day. Yes, I'm sure. And hopefully by then I'll be a successful lawyer. Hopefully by then I'll be a successful author. Well, my dear fellow, our carriage appears to have arrived. Shall we go, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, Mr. Sholmes. I've little doubt Mr. Natsumi will be released in time for dinner this evening. And so, with Soseki-san's innocence successfully established, we rode with Mr. Sholmes into what was to become our new home, 221B Baker Street. Cool. So this is to be our new office, yes.
Our office? I rather like the sound of that.
Me too. It's simply wonderful, isn't it?
I hope you can see this, Kazuma. It's only a small step, but I'd like to think we're getting a little closer to your dream now.
So, my dear fellows, do you like the place?
Nice, a window. I know, an actual window. 2 windows, there's one in the back there.
Do you like the place? Ah, Mr. Sholmes. Yes, thank you so much. It's a delightful room, Mr. Sholmes. I simply adore it. Good, I'm pleased to hear it. Iris and I are delighted to welcome you. I hope everyone's hungry. It's nearly time for dinner. You'll eat as soon as Mr. Natsumi arrives. We have a lot to celebrate. Iris, you must let me help you.
Expansive, I know, right? Or expansive.
All right then, Susie. You can be in charge of the salad. Splendid.
So, Mr. Naruhodo, how does it feel
To have your own office in the capital? It's very exciting, actually. I can't help but wondering what adventures await us. Those were precisely my sentiments when I first established my office at these premises. Until I discovered the dark truth about the city of London, that is. Sorry. London is a glorious place full of wonder, opportunity, prosperity, and mirth. But the brightest of lights casts the darkest of shadows.
Expensive, expansive. I know. 2 words that sound the same.
Shadows? What do you mean? Well, I believe you're well aware of the murkiness that lies behind London's facade already. So, once again, Mr. Naruhodo, welcome to London. Of course, at the time, I had no idea of the significance of those words Mr. Sholmes so casually spoke. But it wasn't long before my turn came to lift the facade and see the true depths of the murk that lay behind it.
Yay! Case 4 done. Little Pokemon update for you guys. Little Pokemon anime update. Ash and friends but he saw a lady. A strange lady in the Decalor Islands of Unova with a Helioptile and a Go-Goat. Which means, it's begun. It's coming soon. Very, very soon. Anyway, who's up for the final case, guys? You? You guys? You there too? Alright. Are you up for the longest case in this game? In 1 and 2? The adventure of the unspeakable story.
It's coming! Sholmes's cry pierced through the thick wall of fog around us. Wisps of vapor flowed over the pistol as I cocked it, and I waited, breathlessly, in the stillness. The silence lasted for what seemed an eternity, until, at last, it appeared. From the shadows of the cloud, an enormous beast sprang out upon us. A hound it was, but not such a hound as any mortal has ever seen. Its eyes glowed with a smoldering glare. The whole of its ox-sized body was outlined in white-hot flames. Its rumbling pant and hideous howl, so terrified was I that I began to tremble with fear. "Look well, Wilson," Sholmes declared, gazing upon the mystical beast. "For this is the diabolical hound of the Baskervilles."
So Hedgewolf, how are you in this game? I'm so confused. The way you were building that up, but ask if the woman who seemed like a prostitute, that I'm sure is a different Pokemon series. Probably on the YouTubes or Pornhub. The Hound of the Baskervilles is the most famous Sherlock Holmes story. Oh, it is? Is there a movie about it? Because I don't want to read it. But it sounds cool, though. Our first 2 months in London passed by in a flash. In that disconcerting courtroom experience we were first thrown into on the day we arrived in the country, and in Soseki-san's terrible ordeal that had followed closely behind, we had emerged victorious. However, there then came an abrupt end to our opportunities to appear in court, which was hardly surprising, of course, since I was nothing more than an amateur, an unknown student of law from a faraway land. So life in our little office was very quiet. That is, until it was shattered one day by that fateful telegram. You're almost certain there is, but it would be one of the old BBC ones. Ah, dang. Would those ones be good? Fun to watch? Knock, knock, knock. Wait a minute. Okay. Hey, this room got a little bit fixed up. That morning, I was woken by the unreserved knocking on the door by the telegram boy. But after he'd gone, Susato-san's behavior became very obviously strange. Susato-san? Yes! The Hound of the Baskervilles does, I believe, have several adaptations, but your favorite version is the book. BBC movies, it's gonna be a coin flip. Some can be amazing. Oh, man. Flip of the coin. We'll have to take a gander. It's time to leave for court already? Let me see. What case is it today? I don't think I'm scheduled to defend anyone at the moment, am I? Oh, no, of course not. How silly of me. But I think Iris said she would make us breakfast this morning. So shall we go down to Mr. Sholmes' suite? Yes! Iris makes the most delicious breakfast food. She does, doesn't she? And once our bellies are full, we can leave for court in fighting fit form. Let me see. What case is it today? Here we go again. Followage. 2 months, 2 weeks. Almost 3 months, DJ Drone. Awesome. Scary one. Scary. Yo, what's going on? So, what was it about? The telegram that was delivered this morning, I mean? Oh, a telegram? I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, but you're not going to get away with that. Well, I didn't think I would. Actually, don't give it a moment's thought. It's nothing interesting. Boring, in fact. Ahem. It was just a boring old telegram. That's 3 times now that she's tried and failed to convince me it was nothing. I promise that I'll tell you about it at some point. Show of hands, guys. Who thinks it's not a boring old telegram? Alright, I understand. I suppose Soseki-san will have arrived back in Japan by now, won't he? Yes, I should think so. He left immediately after that terrible ordeal. Which would mean he should have completed the voyage already, or be just a few days away. A fortnight ago we had that very long telegram from him. Do you remember? Complaining of seasickness? Never is boring. Never. Blue Thunder's raising his hand. Nothing is boring. But by and large, it seemed the voyage had been going well. Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo-san? I was just wondering, what might have become of Soseki-san had he stayed in London, that's all. You mean, as regards Lord Van Zeeks, the Reaper? Yes, I can't help wondering if seasickness would have paled into insignificance in that case. The Reaper. What is it they say? That no one who stands in the dock can be saved from the Reaper, right? Like the way that nightmarish trial ended on the very day we arrived in London. Puzzle games is boring? So true. You say that, DJ, but this is basically a puzzle game. It's more of a visual novel if you think about it. A puzzle-solving visual novel. Hello, Pixel Remy! How you doing today? Welcome back to the stream. Yes, but at least Soseki-san is safely out of the country now. Presumably that means that the curse of the Reaper can only take effect within the confines of the city of London, perhaps? Even if that's the case, it's little comfort. I have a terrible sense of foreboding. And a game you've been looking is a puzzle game that looks fascinatingly warped. Word puzzles, yep. What have you been looking at? Pixel Rummy, what was your game this morning? I forgot it. It had a wolf as well. It was like a feelsy game, you said. If the legend of the Reaper is to believe, it would mean he wields the sword of justice himself. Kind of like Keldeo. Come to think of it, I wonder what he's been up to these past 2 months. Never. Has anyone heard of that? Never? Surely not wielding the sword against more acquitted defendants. No, I don't think so. Apparently, Lord Van Zeeks hasn't appeared in court once since our last encounter. Oh? Yes, since Soseki-san's trial. He's withdrawn from judicial services again, it seems. The Blueprints. Oh, other people are playing that, actually. Wonky little puzzle roguelike. The trick is that you have to find the 46 room of a 45-room house where the layout changes every day. I would be terrible at that game. It was so good, you finished it off stream this afternoon. You highly recommend it. Aw, you finished it? We didn't get to see the ending. No. I'll look into it, though. I'll have a look-see one of these days. Really? Just like before, when he wasn't seen in court at all for several years. So it's just been me who has had to face him in his recent spate of trials then? Ugh, just my luck. I wonder if luck doesn't come into it. Sorry, what was that? Oh, nothing. Never mind. Alright. We out of here. You'd be terrible at it, Boyo. You've been watching a playthrough and you need to play the game. Well, I'll watch a playthrough of, what is it? Blueprints or whatever it's called. I'm sure, I think Vinny's been playing it recently, actually.
Morning, Runo! Morning, Susie!
Good morning, Iris. Please don't talk like that again. Iris? What is it? What is it, Runo? What is it? What is that terrible noise? It sounds like a cat being strangled.
Yes, you noticed that, did you?
It'd be either the game you'd like.
Hurley isn't in the best form this morning, it seems.
Hello. Hello, Mr. Sholmes? Good morning. A good morning. To die, perhaps. Has something happened, Mr. Sholmes? You look miserable, and the way you were playing the violin before? My analytical mind is dead. Music is dead. The world is dead.
Damn this blanched existence!
That's all it is, my dear fellow. Nothing of consequence. I'm afraid I don't understand. Well, Iris, isn't it time we ate? Some dry toast and insipid coffee for me, if it's not too much trouble. Meow. Cat! Oh, look, it's Wahagai. Wagahai? Good morning, boy. No, you'd be terrible at it, so look at B. Oh, you know that sound? Oh, the violin noise. Sholmes is depressed, guys. That must be some sort of tiny door for cats to use. But how did it get there?
Well then, everyone, time for breakfast!
Oh, wonderful. Let me help you, Iris. It would indeed be a fine day to die. I knew something looked different. Something's missing from Mr. Sholmes' desk. Would anyone ever expect to see Sholmes like this, guys? Massively depressed. You seem to be very unhappy this morning, Mr. Sholmes. What happened? It used to be the case that in my hands, this violin sung like the dawn chorus. Its melosonic tones would make flowers bloom. It would? But now, the muses are unamused with me. The goddesses of music have thrown me over. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? For hours I have bowed, for days even, though the night I have endeavored to no avail. That sound, my tone, is lost. That brilliant, clear, unwavering tone, gone forever. No more recitals. The unbridled emotion. Certainly a surprise. Oh yeah. Well, you haven't been practicing much lately, have you, Hurley? Don't worry, I'm sure he will come back to you in time. Heed my words, Mr. Naruhodo. The goddesses of the arts are fickle. One day they bestow genius on a man, the next they unmercifully withdraw it. Oh, dear. Arg, why is this happening to me? If they take the turn I have for the violin from me, what is left for pity's sake? What is left? Deduction perhaps? Isn't that what you're known for? Him being out of practice is very real. Very real. Did the real, Holmes have moments like this? Mr. Sholmes, I don't like to pry, but your desk looks rather empty today. Ah, well done, Mr. Sato. Your observational skills do you credit. Oh, no, Mr. Sholmes, they pale into its insignificance when compared to yours. You'd struggle not to notice, wouldn't you? You mean Hurley's great analytoscope? That's at Windibank's now. Sorry? It's at Windibank? No, Windibank's is the pawnbrokery. Pawn... What? No, actually, Holmes had moments where he was severely strung out on drugs. You don't remember, but as violin being out of practice is real. Oh, as a violinist being out of practice. Gotcha. Very interesting man Holmes was. And, Sholmes. You mean you've pawned that enormous machine of yours? It has some considerable value, you see. Quite undeservingly. But isn't it a very important machine for your work? I do wish you had consulted us if your situation had become so desperate. I should have gladly passed what little income I have to you. Dear madam, things are far from desperate. But pawnbroker has your wonderful machine. How can it be anything but desperate? Making use of a pawnbrokery is quite ordinary here in London, I assure you. It is? It doesn't sound ordinary at all. It would seem that neither of you fully understand how pawnbroking works. Oh, what's to understand exactly? Almost like how it made him look at the world differently. I gotcha. Guys, how does pawnbroking work? What do you mean when you said we didn't fully understand how pawnbroking works? To the people of London, pawnbrokeries are akin to banks. Banks? On Mondays, merchants relinquish their finest jackets and trappings to their pawnbroker of choice. When the money they receive in return, they are able to trade happily through the week. And then on Saturdays, they go to recover their things using the money they've earned. I had no idea. This has become a fascinating lesson for us. Everyone does it, you see, especially people in inner London. And should they have no money to spare, they would purchase another fine jacket. Not to wear, obviously, but to pawn, should the need arise. Oh, how ingenious.
So whenever we have something that's getting in the way, we'll leave it at Windibanks, you see? A pawnbrokery can be thought of as an extremely secure vault. Who would have thought that even pawnbrokers are different here in Great Britain? Of course, you have to watch Hurley with it. Sometimes he pawns things he really shouldn't. Don't you, Hurley? What does it matter? Or what does it matter? The world is dead to me now.
Well, take that.
Mr. Sholmes, could I ask for your opinion about this? You lure me to raise my languid head with the promise of some mental exaltation, yet in my morbid depression, I am confronted with the most mundane of problems. Oh. My mind finds greater stimulation in the unforgiving monotony of the floor and your miserable offering. Always glad to help. Oh, my head weighs heavy on my shoulders.
Well,
I can't converse anymore. Can I move somewhere else? Alright, nothing new here.
I remember during this case, by the way, I got horribly, stuck on a part. I didn't know what to do for the longest time. So chances are I'm going to be, looking at the guide a lot. So, forgive me, folks. I'll have to examine her, probably. The fire's burning comfortably in the grate yet again. It's a very different feeling to a Japanese hibachi somehow. Oh, look at the photographic print of a lady displayed on the mantelpiece. Could it be? Yes, it must be. It's the woman. Oh, how exciting. Is that supposed to mean something to me? The woman awarded. Okay, well, I got an achievement just there. Wahagai. Mr. Natsumi's cat seemed to have settled into his new home then. Oh yes, and I've been very attached to little Waggy. It would appear his previous owner is completely forgotten to him. Cats are unfeeling creatures, their mews as empty as the hearts of the muses. If Mr. Natsumi had no intention of taking Waggy back to Japan, I wonder why he kept him in the first place. I expect he would have taken him if he could, but pets are strictly forbidden aboard steamships in our experience. And for good reason. Terrible things can happen if the rules of passage are not obeyed. It's okay. Yeah. But I don't mind. Or, well, I don't mind, because Waggy is adorable. Aww. Yes, he really is. Oh yes, what about the door? I don't remember seeing that tiny thing in the main door before. Where did that come from? Oh, you noticed! You are observant, Runo. Look, I used this. It's my latest invention. What? What is that? I call it the Cat Flap-O-Mat. Gosh, a machine for making doors just for cats? That's right, it can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds. It's okay using help. Yeah, it is. And it can do it in any door at all, no matter what it's made of. It's very powerful, you see? Wouldn't it have been much quicker to just make the cat flap rather than making a machine to make the cat flap? Well, yes, maybe, but now I can make cat flaps anywhere I like. Oh, I think it's wonderful. You must make one for us in the door of our office upstairs, Iris. She really knows how to come up with unconventional inventions, this girl. Hee hee hee.
Hee hee hee.
Oh, what was that? Wahagai? Clatter, clatter. Screech. What was that? Oh no! Wahagai's tangled up in your violin. I think he thinks it's a toy. No, what's he doing to it? Oh dear, Mr. Sholmes' precious violin.
Why should I care? What? I shouldn't be surprised if the cat is a more accomplished musician than I now. No. Mr. Sholmes really is in poor spirits, isn't he? Well, anyway, I'll put it back where it lives. Shall I, Hurley? Out of the cat's reach, if possible. Maybe we should assess the damage. Okay. Guess we'll look for, the violin. So this is the violin, is it? It's a Stradivarius, one of the finest violins in the world, made by the renowned Italian luthier, Antonio Stradivari. Oh, I see. Not the violin. No! Poor instrument did nothing wrong. I know. Cats are crazy, guys. Yep, not a Strad. A Strad? Is that how you say it? Doesn't look like anything special to me. I happened upon it, covered in dust, languishing in a pawn shop down a nondescript back alley. The broker had no idea of its value, so I was able to purchase it for a mere 55 shillings. How honorable of you. And until today, it has been my faithful companion in every great Paganini-inspired performance I have made. I ask you, is there a reason to live in a world devoid of music? To tolerate this blanched existence? No. A Stradivarius? Is that how you say it? I'm guessing it's important, huh? There is none. Mr. Sholmes? What, dear madam? What? My thoughts are preoccupied with fancies of release from this dull routine. They're priceless. Which means... I never understood that term priceless. Like, it costs nothing if it's priceless? Never understood that phrase, that word priceless. Well, it's about the violin. It looks very different than normal, don't you think? What do you mean, Miss Susato? My dude, Stradivari violins are literally international treasures. I don't know. I don't know anything about violins. How the heck would I know? Oh, Susie's right. Yes. The tone of the wood is completely different. And that's not all. I'm sure there was no crack here before. Wait, it's not even the right size, is it? What's this? I'm terribly sorry to have to tell you this, Mr. Sholmes, but the instrument isn't a violin at all. Then what? I believe it's an entirely different instrument called a viola. What? 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 Oh, Mr. Sholmes, are you alright? You're right. You are quite right. This isn't my faithful Stradivarius. So what, pray, is this piece of stringed flotsam? Not your faithful performing partner then? Ah, I see what must have happened. You do, Iris? This is just a simple mix-up. It sounds like Iris might be able to tell us exactly what's happened if we ask her. Welcome to the fifth case, guys. The case of the missing violin. Okay, not really, but you cannot buy these things. Are worth untold millions. So it's not priceless. It's worth a ton of monies. You've heard people play with them, and each and every one was donated to them by exceedingly wealthy donors. I see. So extremely mega super expensive. Can't even touch it. Hedgewolf is a violinist. That's pretty cool. You should do a violin stream sometime. That would be awesome. Mix-up! What do you mean by a mix-up, Iris? Well, you see, this viola, I mean. Hang on a minute. Okay. Was at Windbanks until last week. Give me a second. Okay. Worth millions is an easy thing to say, but no one who has things is willing to sell them. You're super out of practice and you have played zero stream before. But you have played on stream before. Oh, gotcha. That would be cool though if you did if you picked it up again like one time. I gotcha though.
Was it Windibanks this week? Until last week?
At the pawnbrokers? Mr. Sholmes' beloved musical partner. There is a proverb from the East, with which you are no doubt familiar, my dear fellows. Always let a beloved child travel. Yes, indeed. So you sent your beloved Viola to the pawnbrokers in the hope that it would experience personal growth? Oh, what a wonderful idea. Last week I pawned my great analytoscope in order to release my precious instrument, but it would appear Mr. Windibank mistakenly furnished me with this tawdry fiddle instead. But my ears cannot be deceived by the hollow timbre of this piece of timber. No, but your every sense was deceived by the fact that it just had strings. Pshaw, a fine state of affairs this is, and why I always say, Mr. Naruhodo, never trust a pawnbroker, they will try to fiddle you every time. But earlier you told us that you could think of a pawnbrokery as an extremely secure vault. It never one time law, you want to sound good, you gotta practice. Oh, gotcha. Practice and stuff. Come, Mr. Naruhodo, dilly-dallying will get you nowhere. Sorry. Crunching your toes with that vacant aspect, pressing your coffee so obtusely. And you not a little embarrassed by your own conduct, considering the urgency with which we are faced? You must visit Mr. Winbakery's brokery at once. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Sholmes? Precisely, Miss Susato. Oh my god, my brain. Without a moment's delay. But I haven't finished my bacon and eggs. My dear fellow, surely you do not still intend to crunch your bacon with an increasingly vacant aspect, to press your eggs over ever more obtusely? Alright, say no more. Let's go then. Don't worry, Runo, I'd be happy to heat it up for you again later. Oh, thank you, Iris. As it happens, I am rather curious to see what a British pawnbroker looks like. Alright, we're out of here, guys. Baker Street. As you can see, there's nothing really here. So, to the pawnbrokery! So this is a British pawnbrokery. Oh my, there are all sorts of tools and contraptions here that I've never laid eyes on before. Ah, Susato-san, and that spark of wonder in your eyes. You can't wait to scour the shelves, can't you? Can you? I get the impression you enjoy places like this. Oh yes, I don't know why, but seeing such a lot of things I don't understand is a real thrill for me. My dear fellows, let us not forget why we are here. Oh, Mr. Sholmes. We are calling on matters of business, not pleasure. And clearly Mr. Sholmes means business too, judging from the spark of fury in his eyes. Ah, Mr. Sholmes, sir. Welcome back. Did you hear that brazen welcome? Well, yes, we are potential customers after all. We are disgruntled customers, Mr. Naruhodo, and it's time to inform Mr. Windibank of our ire. Come, the fight is afoot. Well, hello, mister. As long as you do it right, you won't hurt yourself, but the strings can. Oh, the strings can, like, cut you, right? I think that's what I heard of, a while ago. Naturally, you will recall this, which I retrieved from you some days ago. Yes? The second-rate fiddle is not my faithful instrument, Mr. Windibank. The color of the wood is different, it has holes in it, it's not even the same size. A wonderful summary of our observations, Mr. Sholmes. I'm so very, very sorry, sir. How utterly unforgivable of me. An inexcusable mistake for a pawnbroker. There's only one way to make amends. What? I shall have to take my own life. I don't think that will be necessary, do you? If I may just say one thing before I pop off. Yes? It was you, sir, Mr. Sholmes, who took it upon himself to remove the item the other day, I believe. I guess the string breaks. Yeah, sorry. As I recall, I entered the storeroom to fetch your violin when I heard, here it is. You did? And when I turned to controvert you, you had taken the violin and left, sir? However, there can be no doubt that this blame lies firmly at my own door for allowing you to leave. So I shall not grumble or grouse any longer. May this guilt die with me. No, 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 stop, my dear fellow. The fault is mine. Well, we have another weirdo, guys. Woo! It would appear that this fight is over. I do humbly apologize, Mr. Windibank. Evidently, my questionable disposition precipitated this tragedy. Well, you wouldn't be Mr. Herlock Sholmes without that questionable disposition now, would you? What I wrote before was on a delay? What did you write before? I do believe you may be right, good, sir. The strings can cut you, cut fingers in your eye. Yeah, it's the eyes. It's either laugh or cry, I suppose. You are, it must be said, one of my more challenging customers. Didn't it remind you of the particular collection of items you brought through my door in the past? Oh, peculiar items? In the extreme, ma'am. For example, the unpublished manuscript of an eponymous work, the novel of Herlock Sholmes, or some such. Oh my! A new full-fledged novel? An unpublished? A story I have yet to read, you mean? Forgive me. Wait, before you die, you must tell me more. Okay. I must know more. Tell me everything. Well, Seto-san is really fired up now. Is there really an unpublished story under this very roof? Well, one day the gentleman here brought in an old metal chest, you see. I should like to entrust this to your care for a while, Mr. Windibank. For a chest like that, 1 shilling, sir, not a farthing more. It houses something of very great value indeed. Latest manuscript, recounting the adventures of one Mr. Herlock Sholmes. I beg your pardon? A manuscript? Wish to deposit a manuscript? Indeed I do, for I am confident it will be quite safe here. And that was that. As such, Mr. Sholmes' latest tale of otherworldly mystery lies dormant in my storeroom. Mr. Sholmes, is that really true? Do I sense that someone doesn't want to talk about this? I continue to pay your fee, do I not? Then kindly continue to store my belongings securely. Of course, sir, of course. They're safe and sound with me, I assure you, on my life. This is all very strange. So guys, who's the murderer of this story? Will it be this guy soon? He's the murderer and the victim at the same time? I wonder, could I ask you something? Sholmes really does use this as a safety box? Something like that. Ah, gentleman from the east, I see. Yes, that sable suit. I suppose I could offer you 6p for it. Without wishing to offend, the tone is somewhat dull. Sorry? Ah, but for your splendid attire, ma'am, 5 guineas, no less. The colors are exquisite, the design exotic. Eastern artistry at its finest. May I say. I suspect we haven't met them yet, but investigating a self-unaliving would be a thing. That would be something. Another thing we haven't seen yet, I don't think. No idea, but this guy needs to revisit gun safety. Yeah, probably.
Oh my, 5 guineas you say? How interesting.
Why do I feel as though I've suffered some sort of defeat here?
Actually, I was hoping to ask you about your business. I've heard it said that pawnbrokeries are used rather like banks here in London.
Yes, sir, indeed. Many of our customers utilize the establishment as you describe. I appraise their items and offer them a proportionate loan and 2 months of secure stowage. If in that time they repay the original sum to me, plus the agreed interest, the items are happily returned.
Give me a second. Okay, so what happens if they don't pay you the money?
And the items are offered for sale in my shop, as you can see on the shelves behind me.
So you never sell items before the 2 months has passed then?
That's right, ma'am, that's right. Which means some considerable responsibility rests on my shoulders. Should a customer's precious belongings be lost, the only recompense is for me to end it all.
The very idea, Mr. Windibank, is an absurdity. One should never talk of one's demise so casually. Says the man who was telling us all it was a good day to die only this morning. And let us not forget that I have already helped you take measures to ensure that such a tragedy never occurs. Oh, what sort of measurements? I engineered a simple device which Mr. Windibank has installed here in his shop. I call it the Red-Handed Recorder. Is that not so, Mr. Windibank? What was that deep sigh about? Red-Handed Recorder. What on earth is a red-handed recorder? Use your eyes, my dear fellow. There are two just below the ceiling. I can see what appears to be a camera attached to some sort of timing device. Very astute. It is indeed a camera, furnished with some 100 pieces of celluloid film, and every 30 minutes precisely, the camera automatically records the appearance of the shop.
Here, I have an example I can show you.
Okay. Yes, a print from the camera set to record the activity at the shop counter. I developed a special type of film so sensitive it produces a crystal clear image even in darkness.
Really? That's extraordinary.
Yes, you can clearly see the counter and the door behind it. Look! Look! Look at it! So you see, were someone to enter the premises with ill intent, his identity would be summarily exposed. But did you not say that the photograph prints were taken at 30-minute intervals? Indeed, as you say, my dear madame. Then what if the incident were to occur in between times? One could only say, there would be a cruel twist of fate.
I must confess, your devices have been giving me some cause for distress of late.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Windibank. Surely they are anything but distressing. Reassuring is the word.
It's the cost of the film, sir. You most graciously place not one but 2 cameras in my shop after all. Which means I must pay for nigh on 100 utterly useless prints every single day. I'm afraid the cost of the film will break me before I'm very much older.
Nevertheless, a small price to pay to ensure the safety of my preferred pawnbrokery, no? My dear fellows, we verge on an age where safety and security come at a price.
Oh, heaven help us.
Now then, Mr. Sholmes, allow me to return your precious violin. Ah, the very thing. Thank you, Mr. Windibank.
Perhaps this might mark the end of the peculiar items you try to pop, Because if anything were to happen to one of them, this would be the only answer.
I really think you ought to stop waving that gun around. Someone could get hurt.
Fear not.
Sorry?
I've only loaded a single bullet, so no one but myself could possibly be harmed.
That's not really what I meant. Good day to you, then, Mr. Windibank.
It's been a pleasure as always, Mr. Sholmes.
So, Mr. Naruhodo, we can explore at last.
By explore, we mean explore the shop. I think this is where I got stuck. So let's get started here. So look around. I've investigated thoroughly, but I can't find anything out of place. Okay, I guess not this door. Maybe this door? There seems to be a little door hidden behind that curtain there. That leads to the storage room where Mr. Windibank keeps articles that are currently in pawn. Ah, I see. There's nothing of particular interest inside. I certainly wouldn't recommend any larcenous activity. Recommended or not, it's not something I tend to do. There's but one key, and Mr. Windibank keeps it in his pocket at all times. Before he sleeps, he places it into a small pot, which he slides under his pillow.
How on earth did you know about that, Mr. Sholmes?
I am a detective, sir. It is my business to know what others do not. I am frequently assailed by information that I neither care for nor wish to retain. Mr. Sholmes, you are a wonder, and the prime suspect if this pawnbrokery is ever burgled. There could also be a dead body back there that he's trying to hide. Right. This maybe? Look at this! Look at this lovely big shiny Boxby! That, my dear madam, is a music box. Surely you have such a thing in your own country? Oh my, yes! But I've certainly never seen one so large before. Shall we listen a while? Ah, what a sublime sound. It's like the music of angels. I've never heard anything like it before in my life. This particular specimen is of the larger variety, commonly found in public houses and restaurants. There is a metal dish inside on which the notes to be played are recorded. Simply by replacing the disc with another, any music you care to imagine can be played. My goodness, what a simply delightful machine! Indeed, though their popularity has waned recently with the development of the gramophone, of course. Ah, science and technology advance at such an overwhelming pace. I know, isn't this around the time where the technology boom is going crazy? Music boxes are cool. I do like them. The counter. Look at the enormous ledger open on the counter here. Mr. Windibank is, if nothing else, very particular about recording the items he accepts. He'd have to be, otherwise he'd get himself into all sorts of trouble, which might explain the things that catches my eye far more than the ledger. This revolver here. Do you not entertain even a single thought of pilfering an article herein, my dear fellow? I assure you, Mr. Windibank would not hesitate to draw that weapon with a speed of belying his portly size. Oh, you don't mean he'd blow his brains out? Indeed, in recompense for his blunder. Oh my. But in any case, of course we would never do such a thing. How could you even suggest it? Haha, this guy's crazy. Right, shelves. What an assortment of things there are on these shelves here. Crockery, footwear, clocks and watches. Almost anything you care to imagine. These are forfeited items offered for sale by the pawnbroker. What does that really mean, though? When you pawn or pop an item, the broker loans you money against its worth. He stores the item for an agreed period of time, after which the loan must be paid. If not, he is free to display it in a shop for sale at a price of his choosing. Oh yes, now you've explained it, I'm noticing little price tags on everything. Of course, simply by paying the agreed interest on the loan, one can extend the period of safekeeping. So you may pawn that black garb of yours without fear, my dear fellow. My treasured university uniform? Never. It embodies my student spirit. Okay. So this way. This. You see this thing? Now what do you suppose this rather enormous machine does? It seems to have two little windows for looking through.
Allow me to enlighten you, my dear fellows. What are you looking at is a stereoscope. A stereoscope? Fascinating. It is aptly named, I assure you. Look through the eyepieces and see for yourself. Oh, I should be delighted to. Excuse me for a moment while I just have a look. Just before you do, there is something I should point out. My dear fellows, in order to see the image properly, stereoscopically, as it were, you will need to be cross-eyed. However, if that is beyond you, it is of little consequence today. Alright then, I'm going to try it. Ah! Mr. Naruhodo, you must see, at once. Oh, alright then. So I need to be cross-eyed, like I'm trying to look at my own nose. Can everyone be cross-eyed? What the? I don't believe it. It's just a photographic print, but it seems like you could reach out and touch it. Yes, the sense of death is startling, is it not? Stereoscopes are one of London's many fads. They are often found in little stalls in the park. People queue for hours to see them. Why? Why are people meddling with such black magic? It is no magic, my dear madam. It is, well, far too complicated to explain at present. We shall save this lesson for another day. Oh.
Will this come back later, guys, to bite us? Alright, what am I missing now? Door, music box, counter, shelves, the machine. Okay, here we go. Calendar. That's not a calendar you could easily miss, is it? 15th April, today's date. Oh my gosh, this game's almost on the present day. Yes, that's not for sale, I must point out. It is an Eastern-style page-a-day calendar. Every night at midnight, I tear off the front page to reveal the following day's date. The perfect calendar for a tearaway fellow such as yourself, Mr. Windibank. And who was it who walked out of here with the wrong violin before? Well, when we agreed storage period is passed without repayment, the articles are forfeited, you see. But to keep a close eye on the date, it's something of a pawnbroker's obsession, you might say. Oh yes, I can see you're very dedicated to your job. Okay. Machine in the foreground. This? Look at this. Whatever could it be used for? I have no idea. Ah! There's a small catch just here. Look! We're going to open it, aren't we? Oh my, that's amazing! It has some sort of spring-loaded mechanism, which we'll never manage to put back to the way it was before. What are you two doing? What? Us? Nothing. No one, no, nothing at all. Whatever this device is, it seems to have a pair of little windows to look through. I feel as though I've seen something rather similar to this somewhere.
What? Only tuppence for it? That ain't fair, and you know it. This article is barely worth a penny, miss. I cannot offer more.
Sounds like there's an argument brewing over by the counter. Come on, that can't be right. Have you even had a proper butcher's at it?
I've seen all I need to see, young girl.
Aha, a familiar face. Wait, don't we know? I'm sure I recognize her. Oh, yes, it's the young lady from Mr. McGilder's trial 2 months ago. Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She's a chancer, earns her crust among large crowds, relieving people of their purses. What commonly call a pickpocket. Bang. Gordon Bennett, you lot! Hello, Miss Lestrade. I hope you've been well. Eh? What? You remember me then, do ya? Do you guys hear a loud noise, by the way? Well, I remember being completely surrounded by smoke, that's for sure. So, what are you doing in here? Down and out like the rest of us. Nothing to eat. Come to pop that black weasel, sorry, coat, have ya? What is it about this black uniform that makes everyone comment on it? No? Okay, good. Okay. Good day. Unless I'm much mistaken. You would be the young pickpocket who stole our experimental smoke grenade launcher. Ah, Mr. Sholmes. So, you have something of value to pawn, do you? Allow me to see the article, and I shall negotiate with Mr. Windibank on your behalf. Maybe a fan is at the game noise. Nope, that's a truck outside. A very loud, obnoxious truck. Alright, it's off now. Pull the other one. I don't need no help from some stuck-up D. Get out of my business. Go on, I'll make trouble for you. As you wish, Miss Lestrade. I will happily remove myself from your presence. Yeah. He's really done it. He's gone. I'm sorry, but as I said, there's really no room for negotiation here. What is that thing he has in his hand? Some kind of metal disc? And you, go on, leave me alone. Oh, Miss Lestrade, just pretend we aren't here. We shan't be offended in the slightest. Susato-san can really stand her ground when she wants to. Whatever. No, not examine. Not examine. Converse. Somehow I didn't really think you were the sort of person who'd use a pawnbroker, Miss Lestrade. You like Gina? She's fun? Oh yeah, she's a fun character to talk to. We'll be seeing her a lot this case, thank goodness. Yeah, well I am, alright. I'm a Londoner, just like everyone else. Is that a problem, is it? No, not at all. It's just that, well... Oh, I get it. I know what you're thinking. That thing probably don't even belong to her. Probably got it on the dive, didn't she? Yeah, I can see it written all over your Chevy Chase. Well, I might have been thinking something along those lines. You're not going to deny it, Mr. Naruhodo? Alright then, I'm just going to come out and ask you straight. Do you pawn things that you steal from other people? Well, I don't know how best to answer that, really. Suppose sometimes. You're not going to deny it either, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade? Oh, but not this time, alright? I swear, that thing belongs to me. The disc that Mr. Windibank is holding. Perhaps we should see what he has to say about all this. Okay. Hey, you. Mr. Windibank, what exactly is this metal disc that Miss Lestrade brought in? Miss Lestrade. How do you say your last name? It seems to have hundreds of tiny little bumps on its surface. Ah, this is a music disc, you see, for use inside a music box. In a music box? What? You don't even know what a music box is? You Eastern lot ain't too savvy, eh? I know what a music box is, I just never seen one of these discs before. Small protrusions on the metal disc encode the tune to be played by the music box. You simply insert the disc and set the machine going and beautiful music plays. Lestrade. Long A sound. Lestrade. Right? Stride. It's so incredible. Tell us, what tune is on the disc? Well, I'm afraid I couldn't tell you that. There are so many different types of music box, you see. British-made, German, Swiss. You have no way of knowing which particular machine this disc was made for. Ah, I see. And that's it in a nutshell. I wouldn't have any customers for an item like this, even if the young lady forfeited it. Really, I'm already offering more than I should have at a penny. That's a packet of lies. He told me he did. He said it was, well... He? Who? Never you mind, it just ain't right, that's all. The disc is worth a good money, I know it is. Well then, you'll have to try your luck at another pawnbroker's, won't you? Arg. Gina Lestrade.
Give me a second, guys. Okay. She's been here. She's been in before, of course, this little tatterdemalion. I see. Can you play Canon in D on violin? Oh, the hedgewolf. And brought some dubious article or other with her every single time, I might add. Dubious? What are you trying to say? I'm an honest customer, me. So, is there something dubious about the disc she brought in today? Well, if only it were that simple. Sorry? What do you mean? What she actually brought in was a storage ticket. Ah, a storage ticket. So... Miss Lestrade had actually come to redeem an article from you today, is that right? Yeah, that's right. A girl like me has a lot of stuff won't need storing. Alright, yes, that's definitely dubious. The article in question would have been forfeited at midnight tonight, but as she gave me the ticket for it and repaid both the loan and the interest, I was obliged to return the article to her. But what was the article? Do tell us, Mr. Windibank. The little scamp is wearing it, ma'am. It's the overcoat that she redeemed. Oh. What? What's with that? What's wrong with that? It fits, don't it? I mean, it's mine, so of course it does. So, what about the disc then? How does that come into all this? Probably with the sheet music. Actually, might have played it before, not sure. that would be cool. Oh, the disc is something else. A new article to pawn if the girl and I can agree on a price. New article to pawn. I'm confused. I thought you said that Miss Lestrade brought in a storage ticket today. It's really quite simple. Yes, the child brought me a storage ticket and the money owed on it, as you say. For this heavy black coat which you returned to her care, as I've understood it. That's right, yes. And rather unsurprisingly, as soon as the little ragamuffin put the thing on, she went rifling through the pockets. Oh, you mean... What? Don't you know it's rude to stare at a lady? I just wondered, maybe it sounded good. Want that song played if you ever got married. Fair enough. That would be cool. I see. So it came from the pocket of the overcoat, did it? If you mean this disc, then yes, exactly, ma'am. And she immediately tried to pawn it. For quite a high price as well. This is all rather suspicious, I think. Give it up. I'm just trying to pawn something like anyone else would. Miss Lestrade, may I ask who deposited the overcoat here in the first place? Well, me. It doesn't really appear to be your size. Me old man. It's me old man's, ain't it? Is it, Miss Lestrade? Yes, this is definitely all rather suspicious. Out of my way, please! Oh, hello. Who's this picture postcard, English gentleman? Good day to you, ladies, gentlemen. What's your problem, eh? There is no problem, as long as you remove yourself. I have a matter to discuss with the proprietor. And if you intend to make a problem of it, I shall see you outside, little girl, for the hiding you deserve. Look, ain't it obvious? I ain't done talking with him yet. If you think you're such a gent, you should know how to wait in line. Well, you are an impudent little brat, aren't you? As well as a pickpocket. Eh? Who are you? How'd you know who I am? The question is, how do you not know who I am? You haven't the courtesy to remember the faces of your victims, it seems. What? You mean from you? Broker. Yes, sir? I believe this filthy pocket thief has just redeemed an article from you. No? Yes. The article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once. Oh my! Now that's a lie. What are you trying to pull? Give me back my overcoat, you wastrel, and needless to say, any music box discs too. No, you can't have it. You just can't. It's me old man's, or it was. Now it's mine.
goodness, Mr. Naruhodo. This is a very awkward situation. Yes, I think perhaps we should hear both sides of the story in a little more detail. That's cool. Who is this person now, though? Miss Lestrade, is what the gentleman is saying?
What do you think? It's all lies, ain't it? Obviously. I swear on my life, I ain't never laid eyes on that dandy before. Let's hear it now, you little ragamuffin. You stole it, didn't you? You that ticket you brought in here just now?
No, I swear it. I swear to God. It seems like an awkward situation between the pickpocket girl and question mark guy.
Yep.
It was barely an hour ago. I was walking along the street minding my own business when this little gutterling ran into me. I knew at once what had happened. I've been robbed yet again, I thought to myself. Those wretched pickpockets.
Yet again?
Oh yes, as you can see, I am a man of impeccable style. This isn't the first time that I've been targeted by these back slum scoundrels. Now then, relinquish my overcoat.
Is this guy a JoJo character, by the way? Is that Van Zeeks? I like the hats in this game.
I like the hats too.
Well, I'll give you a clue, Captain Chips. I'm not using the same voice as I use for Zeeks for this guy.
Now then, relinquish my overcoat.
Grrr.
Come along now, Miss Lestrade.
Give the good gentleman his coat back. If you're going to cause trouble, I should have no choice but to call the police. Hold on, why does everyone think it's me? Just look at this dandy cove, and you think I'm the dodgy one? I'm sorry, but no one's going to believe you. Well, what about evidence? Yeah. Where's your evidence that I've stolen something, eh? Come on, let's see it.
Oh, I have evidence, naturally.
You what?
Evidence!
Yeah, dude looks like a blonde Baron Zeppeli. Von Baron Zeppeli. He does. These characters and their JoJo poses.
Evidence that the article Miss Lestrade redeemed actually belongs to this gentleman. Of course, we need only consult Mr. Windibank's ledger to know the truth. We'll be able to look up the name of the person who deposited the article in the first place.
Yes, brilliant. I'm very sorry, but I'm afraid that won't be possible.
Oh.
Never ask customers' names. That's a strict policy of mine.
But why not?
Well now, as you can imagine, some of my customers have circumstances to consider. A great many of them prefer to maintain their anonymity.
Yes, I see. But then, how can you know if an article belongs to the person asking to redeem it?
How did she steal an overcoat off someone's back?
She's that good. That's how. Oh, it's quite simple. Good sir, might I trouble you for the watchword associated with the article in question?
Of course, it's Professor.
Yes, that's right, and all the evidence we need. The gentleman is the rightful owner of the article, without doubt. A watchword? Interesting. So, about these watchwords, Mr. Windibank, as I just explained, I never ask customers' names when they deposit items with me. There are many reasons why. Certain customers would like to keep their activities secret. That wasn't exactly a subtle glance at Mr. Sholmes now, was it?
Great detectives have no dark secrets. None at all.
Yes, well, anyway, that's why I always ask for a watchword whenever I accept a new article. In many ways, it's like the secret combination of numbers used to unlock a vault. The date of deposit, a description, and a watchword uniquely identified each item. And of course, then I give the storage ticket to the customer. When someone comes to redeem something, I ask for the ticket and the watchword. And if that someone tells you the correct watchword, you return the article? That's right, sir. Yes, just as soon as the requisite fee is paid.
and I have supplied you with the information you require already, but for the avoidance of doubt, the article in question is an overcoat deposited 2 months ago on the 15th of February, with the watchword of Professor.
All perfectly correct information, sir.
But how? Really, this is beyond a joke now. There is no further room for doubt.
Well,
Examine this guy. Excuse me, but who are you? One would expect the inquirer to introduce himself first. Though clearly you are not British, so perhaps our ways are foreign to you. Oh, sorry. Yes, we're from the Empire of Japan. We're studying here. Oh yes, Japan. I've heard talk of the place. Its inhabitants live on some fiery, brown-colored soup, dressed up with exotic spices. You might be thinking of somewhere else. And what was that theatrical gesticulation about? Perhaps. Anyway, if you are a gentleman, sir, you offer your own name first before inquiring after the name of another.
this guy.
Of course, I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a lawyer. Well, a student of law, really. My name is Susato Mikotoba. I am Mr. Naruhodo's assistant. I see. My name is Benedict. Yes, Egbert Benedict. Enchante. He's so refined in how he holds himself and how he speaks, but that name is suspicious. Now, to the matter at hand. My overcoat. Return it at once to someone with the style to carry it off.
Grr, every move he makes, every breath he takes, I can't stand watching him.
Well, here we go. So, let that be an end to the matter. And thank you for your custom, Mr. Egbert Benedict, sir. Eggs Benedict?
Yep.
Would be a suspicious name, but really with all these weird names, maybe it's not suspicious at all. With such reasonable rates of interest, I may even decide to come back.
Tisk, this is why I hate grown-ups. Just 'cause I'm a diver, everyone thinks that makes me a liar.
And the contents of the coat pockets, if you please, broker.
But of course, sir. Here is the disc for you.
Just this one?
Pardon, sir?
I was expecting another. That is, I deposited earlier.
Another disc?
Oh dear. I regret to inform you, sir, that what was deposited with me was merely the overcoat. The disc happened to be in one of the pockets, but I was completely unaware of it until now. So, Gutterling, you're hiding more of what's rightfully mine, are you?
Says who, eh? I don't know nothing about it.
Very well. Then I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style. Wait a minute. That disc is mine.
Uh-oh. Arg, what do you think you're doing, you little tramp?
You've drawn blood, you filthy animal. Oh my! Yes, there's blood on the disc. It's because of all those sharp little bumps. The man must have scratched his finger on them.
I found it first, all right. I mean, it belonged to me, old man. So you're not having it. Or you take it.
Me?
If I hang on to it, they'll have it off me again. So you keep hold of it.
Miss Lestrade, why is the disc so important to her? You there, in the black livery. Hand that disc over to me at once, please.
No, don't. He's lying. Grown-ups are all liars.
What do I do now? How is going to resolve this? Alright, give me a second. Explore. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Guess what, guys? Mr. Sholmes, what are you examining with such keen interest in, there? Are you enjoying a bar of caramel, I see? So, you found me at last, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? After the young pickpocket sent me on my way, I was forced to lurk in the shadows, cruelly ostracized as the rest of you partook in the jovial atmosphere of fellowship. About listening to the disc? That might be a good idea. Could be something heavy metal or something. I had nothing to occupy my mind, but was too ashamed to let society see what my downfall had done to me. So feigning mock interest, I pretended to examine the tedious trinkets in this desolate place. Whilst, as you shrewdly observed, gnawing on the only friend I have left, this 7% solution of caramel. Pray, do you claim to understand the depths of my despair, Mr. Naruhodo? But how could you? I was so lonely, so desperately lonely. Then, why on earth didn't you would join the conversation? Things have gone from bad to worse here, you know? Yes, I overheard much of your conversation. Or rather, in my craving for human contact, my ears devoured every word that was uttered. You really were sad, weren't you? Poor Mr. Sholmes, I feel simply awful for you. It would seem that my interferences are correct. Oh, surely you're not about to tell us that you've solved the entire case once again? My dear madam, sometimes I wonder where my genius for deduction is to become mudabadaboo. Someone is easily saddened. Oh yeah, this guy. How much could I pawn for it? It seems Mr. Sholmes has had another of his flashes of inspiration, but who knows if it will help us resolve the situation between Miss Lestrade and the mysterious gentleman. What's the right thing to do here? Well, Miss Lestrade, it would appear you find yourself in something of a predicament.
Tisk, where the blue blazes have you been, eh?
Pardon?
When a lady's in trouble, a true gent's supposed to be there to help. Straight away, not an hour later.
Harsh. And who, pray tell, are you? Mr. Eggsburg Benedict, you have in my eyes a veritable encyclopedic array of curiosities about your person. Someone... oh, I read that. Whoopsie. Nevertheless, there are two immovable conclusions I have drawn. I beg your pardon. The first is this. The true reason for your visit to this pawnbrokery today is something you have not yet revealed. And the second is this. A considerable crime is in contemplation, one you will orchestrate with an intent to steal a vast sum of money. Well, Mr. Benedict, what say you to my deductions?
How?
He's turned as white as a hard-boiled egg. It would seem that once again, Mr. Sholmes has made a flawless deduction.
Just who do you think you are, sir?
Ah, yes, as I hoped. That is precisely the pained expression I was looking for. So, shall we begin? The time has come for yet another Herlock Sholmes's Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Here we go again!
Topic 1. Mystery Man's Aim.
First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you ventured to this pawnbrokery today. You claim to have followed this pickpocketeer, having had the redemption ticket stolen from you on the street. But that is certainly a lie. The real truth is something quite different. As revealed by that which you hold in your hand, yes, what brought you to this shop in the first place is the staff recruitment flyer. The piece of paper in your hand is a staff wanted advertisement from this very shop. Yet even the most unobservant would soon realize that a man of your appearance has no need of such employ. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. That cane which you unwittingly clutch to your person exhibits an incontrovertible contradiction.
What utter rot!
I've had this cane for years. The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the missing ferrule. The end of any walking cane would be terminated with a metal ferrule to protect the wooden tip. And yet, detailed analysis shows that the wooden tip of this stick to be utterly bare. Therefore, there is only one conclusion. The rod that you hold in your hand, which appears to be a walking cane, is in fact no cane at all. You recoil, sir. Is something wrong? And in your recoiling, you inevitably facilitate the answer of the next conundrum to present itself. Namely, what is the truth of this rod you bear? Yes, your reaction betrays the truth. The handle which you have evidently would like to conceal is the key to understanding this riddle, you see. From the moment I saw it, my suspicions were aroused. What walking king demands such a stout handle? Mused I. But of course, as I said, this is no walking cane. No, that rod is the broken handle of a shovel. What? Are you insane? And now, having determined this undeniable truth, the conclusion is clear. Your true motive for coming here was to take employment at this establishment in order to excavate the ground beneath the premises. What a calculated crime you have conceived, sir. A wickedly calculated crime. Wow. To tunnel underneath the pawnbrokery. That's his crime. Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. We must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have in the planning. This is utterly absurd. You suggest that I, a gentleman, intend to excavate the ground beneath this pawnbrokery with a broken shovel? What on earth do you propose I could expect to find there? Some long-forgotten treasure, I suppose. Save for such a fanciful theory, what possible reason could I have to do as you say? Oh, but there is an ample reason. As you are only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Ah, and your furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped. What? Let us consider what would motivate a man to infiltrate a shop such as this and covertly dig beneath its floor. The answer is revealed by the council notice on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. The letter gives notice of public works to be carried out in the local area. And according to this enclosed plan of the upcoming sewerage works, beneath this shop runs a sewer that adjoins another, one that runs under the bank on the opposite side of the road. This madness has entered the sewers now, has it? By excavating the ground beneath our feet, you would gain access to the waterway. That flows in a very close proximity to the great vault of the financial institute opposite. What are you? In summary, sir, you devise a master plan to pull off an elaborate bank robbery by dint of the underground tunnels. Master plan? Which brings us to the last of the final chapters of this lurid scheme. With what plunder did the thief hope to make off from the underground vault of the bank? Are you quite serious? Having consulted with Scotland Yard some days ago, I happen to know the answer. But naturally, the answer is no secret to you, is it, Mr. Benedict? I have no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, this picture postcard tells us all we need to know. Postcard of the Great Exhibition? I'm afraid you've quite lost me. Currently in the final stages of preparation, the Great Exhibition will soon be underway, and the government has provided extra funds to complete its centerpiece, the Crystal Tower. Funds that currently sit in the vault of the bank on the other side of this road. Pardon? Yes, the considerable crime you have been contemplating is the theft of that which sits on the vault of that bank, the special reserve funds for the Great Exhibition. Of course, that is top secret police information, so keep it under your hat, please. Wow, you were AFK for a moment? Alrighty. Okay. Sounds legit this time. Thus concludes Sherlock Sholmes' great deduction of this pawnbroking puzzle. Mr. Sholmes? Well, Mr. Naruhodo, an impressively upbeat deduction for a detective racked with loneliness, would you not agree? Was it true when you said about the bank over the road and what it had in its vault? Indeed, though few know of its existence, it is one of the government's most closely guarded secrets. Or is he sharing top secret that can't be alright? It's fine. It's Sholmes. It's fine. Gregson told me, in the strictest confidence. But you just announced it to everyone here, rather loudly in fact. Ah, and if it's such a big secret, how would Mr. Benedict have come to find out about it? There can be one explanation for that. Clearly it is because the man is a criminal. But what if he didn't know anything about the money in the vault? If he is a criminal, as you said, then buying a brand new shovel is sure to be the first thing he does now that you revealed the secret. Oh, or if he doesn't, maybe Mr. Windibank will. He already had plenty of shovels here after all. On my life, I assure you, I'm not so unscrupulous. Well, hopefully this has taught you a valuable lesson. Sensitive information must be handled with the utmost care. One can never be sure that someone privy to secrets won't disclose them, and once the word is out, it's out. Perhaps I'll think twice before confiding in you next time, Mr. Sholmes. An excellent idea, Mr. Naruhodo, an excellent idea. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, you know what to do, I'm sure. Yes, let's listen to that great deduction again, and see if we can massage it into shape. Okay, very well then, let us start over once more from the beginning. Who would believe him? Who would? Of Herlock Sholmes' magnificent logic and reasoning spectacular. Yeah, let's do it. This'll be the last thing we do tonight, guys. First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you ventured into this pawnbrokery today. You claim to have followed this pickpocket here, having had the redemption ticket stolen from you on the street. But that is most certainly a lie. The real truth is something quite different. As revealed by that which you were holding in your hand. Yes, what brought you to this shop in the first place, the theft recruitment flyer. So, by Mr. Sholmes' reasoning, Mr. Benedict came here in order to apply for a job, so he could dig down through the floor. Yes, in an attempt to tunnel into the sewers to gain access to the money in the vault of the bank across the road. But he wouldn't get very far with a broken shovel, would he? No, I think it's fair to say his motives lie elsewhere. The question is, where? What did bring Mr. Benedict here at this particular point in time? That would be... Ah... What do we have here, guys? Oh, look at all the scribbled notes on the back of the flyer here. I don't believe it. What is it? Listen to what it says. Name, Gina Lestrade, height 5'2", green cap, scruffy waistcoat, grubby white shirt, blue satchel, ragged. It's a detailed description of Miss Lestrade. Goodness, there's even a sketch of her, hat and all. Although if he showed it to her, she'd fire that smoke grenade launcher in his face for sure. And look, the details of the shop have been written down here too. Windibank's Pawnbrokery, Baker Street, redemption deadline 15th of April, which is today's date. Why would Mr. Benedict have all that information scrawled on the back of that piece of paper? Huh. Well, I guess,
Take that!
Yes, what brought you to this shop is the first place is the info about Miss Lestrade. Quite so, my dear fellow. It would appear that the writing and sketch on the reverse of the flyer... You're back. Welcome back. We're on the other part of this, Captain Chips. Pertain to the pickpocket, Miss Lestrade, and to Mr. Windibank's pawnbrokery here. Ah. You originally told us that you had merely given chase after Miss Lestrade stole the redemption ticket from you. But that, sir, is a thinly veiled lie. It is the information on the back of the flyer that led you here today, by which I mean... Here, to Windibank's pawnbrokery, and today, the redemption deadline of that overcoat. So you waited outside for the young girl matching the description you have written down to arrive. And you have gone to some lengths to hide the reason for your pursuit of Miss Lestrade? In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. The cane which you unwittingly clutched to your person exhibits an incontrovertible contradiction. What utter rot! I've had this cane for years. The contradiction of which I speak of is, of course, missing ferrule. What's a ferrule? It's the metal cap commonly found on the end of a cane, Mr. Naruhodo. Ah, the bit that makes the nice clacking sound on the pavement. Yes, exactly. And Mr. Sholmes is right. It appears to be missing on this cane. It doesn't actually look broken, does it? No, it doesn't, though this gentleman certainly did recoil when Mr. Sholmes identified the cane as suspicious. In other words, there's something secret about the cane that Mr. Benedict would rather we don't know.
Alright, look at the stylish hat. No. Look at this.
Look at here, Miss Susato. There's some letters on the handle. Ah, yes, those must be initials, I think. In the West, it's customary for people to engrave their belongings with the first letters of their name. Sherlock Sholmes would be HS, you mean? That's right. And the initials on this cane, obviously. Oh. AG? Why does it feel as though that's not quite right?
Alright. Present. Give me a second. Yes.
Take that!
The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the initialing.
More potently keeps the cane from getting scratched up and gnarly.
Gnarly.
Finishing each other's sentences very theatric.
Very theatric, I love it. Maybe it's not a cane. Maybe. A most astute observation, wouldn't you say, Mr. Egbert Benedict? We are led to believe, sir, that your initials are E.B. Yet in the most possessive manner you have in your grasp a cane bearing the initials A.G. An incontrovertible contradiction indeed. Would you not agree? No, you're wrong. This cane isn't. You said before that you had that cane for years. Grrr. So don't try to tell us that you just borrowed it from a friend and found it in the park. In short, though you hold yourself to be a gentleman, you have withheld your true name. You recoil, sir. Is something wrong? And in your recoiling, you inadvertently facilitate the answer to your next conundrum to present itself. Namely, what is the truth behind this rod you bear? Yes, your reaction betrays the truth. The handle, which you have evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, you see. Let's consider the bare bones of what's happened here. Miss Lestrade redeemed that fine-looking overcoat, and now a mysterious man has appeared, introducing himself with a fake name, and claiming that the overcoat belongs to him. But we know that he actually identified Miss Lestrade from a written description, which suggests that everything else he's told us is untrue. So what we need to do here is somehow prove that the overcoat cannot possibly belong to him.
Okay. Back of Mr. Benedict.
And, what do we have here? Oh, the seam on the shoulder there is coming apart. Look! So it is. Do you know, a moment ago when Mr. Benedict was surprised by something that was said, I heard him make a rather strange noise. It sounded a bit like a tiny growl. But now I think it was probably the sound of the seam ripping open. Look closely, it does seem to be a very tight fit. The sleeves are stretched to bursting, and he wouldn't have hope of fastening it on the front. If he were to run around in it, I'm sure the whole thing would fall apart. That I'd like to see. Sorry. So how can we make Mr. Benedict run around? Surely giving this some thought. Well.
Take that!
The split seam.
The spinning, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. I love the spinning. The split seam, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, you see. Ah. Yes, because this overcoat is rather obviously a poor fit. Having forced it over your broad shoulders, the seam is already breaking apart. My suspicions were aroused from the outset. When you so badly lied about your name and so boldly waylaid this pickpocket. Arg! This catalogue of untruths has all been for one very specific purpose. To steal the article that the young girl redeemed from Mr. Windibank. Arg! But what really irks me is this. The considerable crime I initially imagined has been considerably curtailed. To abscond with a redeemed item. Solved! Second topic. Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. For we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have in the planning. This is utterly absurd. You suggest that I, a gentleman, designed this wheeze to filch some tardy article of pawnage. Have you forgotten that I redeemed this article in the proper manner, using the watchword? Had I not been the one to deposit it in the first place, how could I possibly have known the redundant details? N'est-ce pas? Oh, but the watchword can be discovered. As you are only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Ah, and your furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped. What? Let us consider how one might come to learn a secret watchword relating to the pawned property of another. The method is revealed by the council notice on the counter, which were drawn. The direction of the deduction must change rather dramatically now, I think. Yes, no more talking of tunneling into the sewers, which is a pity, because it all sounded rather exciting. Anyway, you can't deny that this mysterious gentleman did know the watchword. Yes, Professor. If you didn't know that word, Mr. Windibank would never allow you to redeem the article. Or looking at it another way, if you did know that word, Mr. Windibank would allow you to redeem the article whether it was yours or not. The question is, could this gentleman have found the watchword out somehow? Examine this. Look at this, Miss Susato. Ah, it appears to be a memo that Mr. Windibank has scribbled to himself. Let's see, what does it say? Oh, Professor. Mr. Windibank must take a note of the watchwords his customers give him right before their eyes. And an alarmingly clear script as well. Oh dear, I don't know where to look. Who knows what other words I might see? Well, here we go. Boom! The method is revealed by the notelet on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. Yes, the broker here follows the same procedure whenever a customer comes in to redeem an article. He asks the customer for the watchword and notes down the response uttered in a notelet he has to hand. Then he consults his ledger and confirms whether or not the watchword matches that of the article in question. We'd expect nothing less of a diligent pawnbroker. But his diligence clearly has its disadvantages. What are you talking about? It is increasingly apparent that you were present at this shop before your accusation against Miss Lestrade. In all likelihood, you followed her inside and then observed her talking to Mr. Windibank. When the diligent broker made a note of the watchword, as is his common practice, you observed him writing the word Professor on the notelet beside the ledger. And that, sir, was the master plan that you devised to steal the pawned article from the young Miss Lestrade. Master plan?
Which brings us to the final chapter of this lurid scheme. Why will you go to such lengths to redeem that particular article from this pawnbroker? Are you quite serious? For an ill-fitting overcoat hardly seems to justify the effort, much less a worthless music box disc. But not naturally, you had very good reason to make them yours, didn't you, Mr. Benedict? I have no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, this particular postcard tells us all we need to know. The articles we are talking about are the overcoat and the music box disc that was in one of the pockets, which according to Mr. Windibank isn't even worth a penny. And yet this man went to such lengths to steal them. Why? I wonder if perhaps we might already have the evidence we need to explain it, Mr. Naruhodo. Could we? Really? Better have a thorough look through all the evidence we've collected so far.
Okay.
For McGilded. Oh, there's a little scrap of paper stuck on the reverse side of the disc. Look, and a scribbled word or two. It looks like somebody's name. For McGilded. McGilded? It couldn't be! But it is, Mr. Naruhodo. A name I shall never forget, for as long as I live. But why? Why is his name on this?
Well, that might be a bit of trouble, huh?
Take that!
You see, this music box disc tells us all we need to know. What's that on the back? It reads, for McGilded. Ah, Mr. Magnus McGilded, the unfortunate philanthropist who perished in the curious circumstances at the Old Bailey 2 months ago. A prominent man in London, though his long loan-mongering demonstrated a distinct lack of scruples. So, you're an associate of his, are you? Or perhaps a subordinate? Mr. McGilded was a man of unusually small stature. In fact, he was precisely the right size for that overcoat that you've squeezed yourself into. Ah. Your true identity remains shrouded in mystery, Mr. Egbert Benedict, but the final conclusion here is crystal clear. The reason you came to this pawnbrokery today was to retrieve an article left behind by the late Magnus McGilded. Tis. Arg! Why does it seem like everyone is lying? Everyone forever is lying. To acquire an item deposited by Mr. McGilded. Ding! Solved. Deduction complete. Elementary. And with that, guys, I think I'm gonna end the stream right here. Notice something interesting, guys. We're well into this case by now, but there is no case yet. There's been no murder. Very strange, huh? Very, very strange. Well, we'll see more of this game in 2 days, so look forward to that. Tomorrow will be more Hello Kitty. I gotta get cracking on my Pokemon Marathon, Anime Marathon. So I will see all of you tomorrow. Y'all be well, be excellent, and I'll see all of you on the tomorrows. Bye-bye!